gentlemen, good afternoon and good evening, and welcome to the 100 Cup Series Round of 12, Race 2, live from Talladega Speedway. I'm James Parfit, and I'm going to be bringing you all the action with Michael David tonight. Here today, and what more can you ask for with a track length of 2.65 miles, current temperature 92 degrees, set in the city of Talladega in the USA, and with high banking around the circuit. We're talking turns 1 and 2 have got 33 degrees, turn 3 have got 32.4, turn 4 have got 32.5. It's going to be an absolutely epic evening of racing, and with Jonathan Delaney taking last week's victory at the Texas Motor Speedway with Alex Murray in second and Alex van der Zand in third. Now, Alex van der Zand has got a sub this week. Jeff Sosa is standing in for him. They're the current playoff standings in front of you at this moment in time. So Dustin Hall, RJ Root, Cam Stone and Sean O'Brien Jr. have got this race and one more to get out of the zone that they're in currently at this moment in time. And right about now, let's bring Michael David into the booth. Michael, how are you, young sir?
I'm doing great. How are you, James?
I am not too bad at all. Not too bad. First time I've been here, so this should be fun.
Well, Alabama. There's a couple things I think about when I think about Alabama. First thing's Crimson Tide football. Second thing is Talladega. This is going to be an exciting race, and I'd like to point out real quick while we got a moment here, our pole sitter, Alexander Russell. This is his first race, and he is our pole sitter. So he's just coming in here like a champ, just showing the field what's good, you know. So that should be exciting. I'm really excited to see what this kid can do. But yeah, no, it should be a very exciting race. I'm excited to be here, excited to be working with you again, and glad to be back.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex Russell's done an absolutely stellar job. I think it's going to be incredible what he's managed to achieve already. But let's not forget as well, we have got stage 1 after 60 laps today. Stage 2 is going to be 120 laps. And they've only got a 6 tyre limit this evening. And for the green white checker, we're going to be getting 3 attempts. So they've only got 6 tyres today, mate. And we've got 188 laps. This could be interesting, couldn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, with this long back straight, I feel like tire degradation isn't going to be that much of an issue. So 6 tire sets shouldn't be that big of a problem. But you never know. We could start getting some cautions, could start getting a couple tire changes, and all of a sudden you shoot yourself in the foot and you're running out of tires. So yeah, it could definitely get very interesting here towards the end.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be one of the most important things that we're going to be looking at here as well. And obviously, we just seen some cars literally smoking up going into the pit lane there. So I think the circuit itself is going to be different to what we saw at Texas Motor Speedway last week. And I'm just thinking of what we're going to see. You know, we saw a lot of single line action last week. And I think this week, we were just talking beforehand, I think we're going to be looking at possibly double line action on the high side. But they've also got to be careful of that apron. You know, I know you mentioned the apron. Just tell us, what does the apron involve if they get caught on it?
Yeah, so with the banking and the high degree banking on these turns, you're going to see high speed. But as you look at this camera angle that we got here, thank you, Carlos. Yeah, that huge angle on the curve, or on the turn, and then all of a sudden, if you see down here on the bottom, it just flattens out. That was a beautiful triangle. That was a beautiful triangle. But yeah, you see down there, it just flattens out. So if you're going around that curve and you catch your front left tire right there, you're gonna get spun around real easy. So you got to be very careful when you're pushing that bottom line. But I agree. I think we're gonna see a lot of 2-wide racing today, and it looks like we're starting to grid up for our feature.
Yeah, we are, and let's give Carlos props there for the amazing triangle we've got going on, and the amazing, incredible writing. He's managing to do that all on his own. It's amazing. So Roy and Becky's Travels go number 53. So here are the grid for tonight's race. As we said, Alexander Russell is in pole on his debut. Dustin Hall, an amazing second place there. Well done. Jonathan Delaney in third, Blake Giglio in fourth, Lucas Hoytsma in fifth, Mike Christopher in sixth, Robert Anderson in seventh, Ralph Hutchinson in 8th, Alex Murray in 9th, Travis Gramada in 10th, Adam Benefield in 11th, Jason Baker in 12th. After you, Michael.
Yeah, in 13th place, we have Matt White. 14th, we have Jason Taylor. 15th, we have Taylor Stout. As we see here, we're caught up. 16th, we have Matt Long. 17th, we have Nolan Hodgson. 18th, we have Cameron Stone. Brandon Pierce is in 19th. Raymond Root, 20th. Jeffrey Souza, the stand-in for Alexander Vanderzant, in 21st place. Joe Stafford in 22nd. Zach Roethlisberger in 23rd. Sean O'Brien Jr. is up into 24th place.
Yeah, there we go. A little further down, Josh Ward in 25th, Tanamai 26th, and Matt Dicciani in 27th, Christopher Hammond in 28th, Alex Prince in 29th, Dalton Mowbray in 30th, Derek Heitman in 31st, Patrick Mish in 32nd, Preston McRae in 33rd, Damara Sinkerbottom in 34th, Carl Allen in 35th, Randy Drumhiller is in 36th place. If I'm not mistaken, there's a few more just underneath. There we go. Chad Sana in 37, Ryan Samuelson in 38, Bryson Hicksenborough in 39, and Kevin Steele down in 40.
Yeah, we got a full field tonight, 40 drivers, so looking to take the checkered flag here. Somebody on this field is definitely going to be happy at the end of the day, but not sure who it's going to be. So yeah, this should be exciting. This is a very fast-paced, very quick track. It's going to be something, that's for sure.
Well, that's the thing. What we mentioned about, didn't we, in the when we were talking beforehand, was obviously some of the fast lap times that we've seen was well around here. I think we were looking at 49s. I think that from that point of view, we should be good. It's whether or not how far we can get in before we have a big one, or are we hoping that we don't have one? Because I know last week we ran quite long before we got to the caution stage. So I'm hoping that we don't. But Alexander Russell there, just hoping he settles down, debut on pole, car number 86. Well, hopefully get a little bit nervous, get everybody banked up at the moment. You can see there on your screen, we are in 2 columns of 2. Just going to come around, get ready to go. And that is it. We are underway here at Talladega. And currently it's Alexander Russell leading us away with Jonathan Delaney in 2nd. Lucas Hoysma is in 3rd. Dustin Hall in 4th. Blake Giglio in 5th. And that, he's gone down to 6th now. And that's what we were talking about, Michael, straight away. 2 banks, 2 columns, which is what we were expecting. And we're off. We're actually 3 wide for a brief moment there. But now we're back into the 2 columns, which is what we were expecting, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I think that's what we're going to see for the majority of the evening here. This draft is obviously going to be extremely strong at the super speedway here. So you're going to see the cars wanting to get into their single files. But there's multiple different lines here. It's a wide track, so you can see these cars settle into that top line and sticking to the bottom. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of 2 wide, possibly 3 wide going through here. As we get along through this race, and it looks like we're almost 3 wide right there.
Yeah, we are currently at the moment still in our 2s. We're sitting down nice and comfy. 3 wide at the back. There's another second pack that is currently running 3 wide. They were a little bit further down the order, so we're going to keep an eye on that as they come around the corner. They've gone back out and settled back down into their 2s at the moment. So we're going to just proceed as we are going comfortably at the moment. We've still got Alexander Russell in 1st, Delaney in 2nd, Anderson 3rd, Murray 4th, Scarameda in 5th, and Hoytsma in 6th. Now, the gainers at the start are mostly off that bottom column, which is, which is obvious. They're going to run around. They've got the shortest possible route. Now, we've seen the outside work before, Michael, but they've really had to kind of work that outside line to get them up into line with this front crew that we've got going on, the front 5, really, that we've got kind of left them to it. Now, Russell's getting a nice push from Delaney currently at the moment as well, so that's going to make it even harder for the outside column to try and push up. And currently we've got Cameron Stone. Now, we would like the outside row to kind of push along a bit. We see people dropping off the outside to go onto the inside because it's the fastest column at the moment. But we saw this last week at Texas as well, as the track come in, the outside evolved and allowed them to really push around that outside line. Are we going to be looking at the same here, do you think, here at Talladega itself?
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on how the track is going to unfold itself over the evening. A lot of it's going to depend on how we get, how everybody's set up. Some of these cars are going to be set up for longer runs, where some of them are going to be set up for shorter runs. So I think it really just depends on how the track kind of opens itself up. As we see, everybody, for the majority of these drivers, are wanting to stick to that bottom line, and you see that top line's kind of falling apart here. Which is not going to help if we go 3 wide here. I'm not sure who that was.
That was car number 1.
Yeah, car number 1. Yeah, that
Dustin Hall.
Dustin Hall. Yeah, got sat out there. But yeah, we're going 3 wide down the backstretch. So Dustin Hall is definitely losing quite a few spots here. Wonder what happened to his car.
I'm not sure now. I love that shot of Cameron Stone's pedals. Literally, he's just right-footed. I think his left foot's chopped off, and he's not got one. Because he's literally just right-footing his car all the way round, and we're on board on his nose. He's just feathering his throttle. He's working his pedal. He's on, he's off, he's on and off, and that's a great shot from Cam Stone there as well. So you can see what he has been up to over here as well. And is that cable ties? Is that cable ties?
Those are his famous cable ties.
Yeah, he's got his cable ties there as well. Oh, we are inside the car.
There getting high and wide, getting past on the outside. Benefield, see if we can get a replay of that. Not sure what exactly happened here. Oh yeah, no, he's just out there by himself. Not really anything he could do there. So everybody looks like they're trying to stick down to that bottom line. So we'll see if some of these guys are going to try to migrate up or later on. But right now, everybody's just comfortable running that bottom line. As we see here, Hoytsma is up into first, Giglio in second, Christopher in third. Russell falling back into fourth, Baker in fifth, Delaney sixth, Stone in seventh, Anderson's in eighth, Stafford in ninth, and Murray is up in the 10th place, so that's your top 10 currently.
Looking back from Hoytsma, look at that. Giglio is literally attached to our car here for Lucas Hoytsma. It's a weird one so far because we're kind of seeing, you know, the same kind of almost movements that we saw in Texas, where they're just running around the bottom. They're fighting for that bottom line at the moment. It is the quicker. The outside, led by car number 51, Jason Baker at the moment, is being pushed along as well. He's got Cam Stone giving him a bump draft up behind, and also there's a couple of others in that pack as well, but they've kind of separated from I suppose it suggests probably the main field later on behind them. And it looks like these guys are going to be the sort of the main protagonists, as we say at the moment, with there's a nice little gap opening up between the last one in that bottom column, Michael. But what are they going to have to do here? Because, you know, obviously that's not going to help either. That's Alex Russell blinking a little bit there as well. But what are they going to have to do overall? They've just got to keep running their line, I suppose, haven't they? There's not a lot else they can do at this stage of the race. We're only on lap 7, you know, and they've just got to kind of find what works for them in the groove. And if that means running that bottom line, which a lot of them have amalgamated down into, then it means running the bottom line, because that four car outside column is definitely going to need some help at some point to be able to move them up on the outside.
Yeah, right now they are just kind of floating along here. We see every single lap it looks like Baker gets a little bit further back behind, a little bit further back. They definitely need, oh, he's back up in the 6th place, but they definitely need a little something to push them along here. They're trying that outside line, and as soon as they come to the corners, they just kind of lose a little bit of steam. And that bottom line just, you know, takes it away. So we see there is a little bit of a gap forming here, but that blinking Russell is not going to help things. You definitely don't want to be following a blinking car when you're drafting in a super speedway.
No, definitely not. And that's going to give Delaney something to think about. Maybe Alex is aware of it. What can he do about it at this moment in time? Probably absolutely nothing. He cannot do anything while he's sat in the car. Bird Vision TV, let's go, Preston. He says there as well. So big shout out to him. Thank you so much for that. That's Preston McRae, car number 53. Down in 31st place currently at the moment. And then we've got Bryson Anderson, car number 42, and car number 9. So as I have a scroll through, car number 9 is Alex Princeton, and car number 42 is Nolan Hodgson. So massive shouts out to them as well. And another one for Preston McRae as well. Roy and Becky Travels for Preston McRae. Their car number 53 currently set down in 27th place as well, and is kind of got to car number 63, Bryson Hicksborough. Which is unusual to see Bryson down this low. You know, it is early days. We are 10 laps, and he's down in 28th place. I guess some tracks suit others, and other tracks might not suit him. But this is clearly a track that Bryson, at this moment, where we wouldn't expect him down in this position, is kind of looks like his early doors maybe struggling a little bit.
Yeah, and as we see this second group that got separated from our lead pack here, they seem to be liking the top line a little bit more. But to your point, this track might not suit some of these drivers, but at the same time, we did get a little glimpse of Benefield kind of dropping back there. So I'm not sure. Maybe he just got stuck out in Carlos is saying that it's separated by design here, but they're coming down to the bottom here. So
yeah, I think they've got to kind of really run the shortest route around this circuit. You know, this second pack is kind of 5.5 seconds behind car number 46, you know, at the moment. So maybe it is by design, and maybe Carlos is right. Maybe we don't give Carlos enough credit in the background when he talks in our ear. But maybe it is by design that they are this far back already. But, you know, look, at the end of the day, I know they're going to be wanting to try and push forward as much as they can. So at the end of the day, we'll just have to see how this one pans out. Because as you can see, the lead pack are quite far in front. And again, we've got a little bit more help on the outside of the lead pack as well, as you see in the top part of your screen there. And I think they're up to about a 6, what they've got, 2, 4, 6 cars. So, you know, they are looking at really trying to push the cars forward. So I have to see how this one pans out, Michael. You know, the fact that we're lap 12, stage 1 is a lap 60. So, you know, the continuous green runs that we've had here over the last few weeks, touch wood, he says, banging as much piece of wood as he can, might continue, I suppose, would be a terminology that we'd be looking for.
Yeah, and I think that we're both hoping for that. We want to see some good, clean racing, as we see that top line is really starting to come in now. They're getting up close there. Baker's up into 3rd place, and Hoytsma moving up into 1st, and it looks like they're 3 wide up in the front. Somebody's going to get left out there. That's the 51. Yep, that was the 51. Got left out there, and the 51, that is Baker. Yeah.
Jason Baker, yeah.
Jason Baker, yeah, he got left out to dry there, but he's able to come into the back of that pack there, and that top line did fall back a little bit, but they are definitely pushing for an opportunity to get up there and take the lead on the top line here.
Yeah, as we jump back on board with Cam Stone and his foot cam at the bottom, and his tube of cable ties. I think it seems to be that when they start moving out of the two lane column that we have got, whoever goes out and tries to push the 3 wide kind of gets a bit hung out to dry. So I don't know if that would necessarily be the best kind of option when you're in a race. This you know, we have got 188 laps, mind you, but I don't know if that's kind of the best option for them this early on.
Well, sometimes you do want to drop back and let somebody else take up. You want to conserve the tires a little bit, or, you know, there are strategical reasons for dropping back and grabbing to the back of the line there. But as we see, they really are starting to get a bigger group on that top line there. So that top line is coming in. A lot more people are more comfortable up there now.
Yeah, the trouble with see is going to be seen later on the run, when we start getting into the green pit stops, how the tyres are going to hold up running round that outside line, because obviously the back end slides out. The only way you're going is down. You know, if you've not already tapped the wall, the other way you're going is down into the main lanes of traffic. So they've got to kind of work out when's going to be the best time to go in and when's not, and it's almost finding that balance. We had a few last week that waited a little bit long at Texas, and you could visually tell that they were struggling. So you know, they've got to be picking their times right for going in to get some new boots on.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see the degradation here that you saw at Texas. Texas is a very, very it's a strange line through Texas. You know, you got your turns 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 are totally different. So you really got to pick and choose where you want to be fast there, and that'll change your wear and tear on your tires quite a bit. Where here at Talladega, it's more just, you know, as we watch Cameron Stone, he's barely lifting off of that throttle just because he's up in that, you know, that draft. So you don't really need to, you know, you really almost on the throttle. If there weren't any cars around you, you'd be on the throttle 100% of his laps. So
yeah, a full throttle circuit as well. Is Uncle Stone here? Well, it was just literally Cameron Stone's pedal. Cam, you were looking at and on board with Cameron Stone. So
I think he's talking about Cameron's uncle, actually.
Is he his? Oh,
yep.
Okay. No, we don't think he's in it. So there we go.
Now, Carlos, correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think Cameron Stone has picked those cable ties up since a championship he won a year or two ago. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I was told. Since the 2020 championship, before the rebrand, allegedly those are the same as zip ties that have been knocked over and are still knocked over to this day.
Superstitious, everybody.
Superstitious, yeah, clearly. Must be just superstition that he's not wanting to pick them up. But then again, I suppose, you know, you wouldn't if something works out for you and it's just like almost coincidence, isn't it, really? Superstition's a wonderful thing. A lot of drivers have got their different things. You know, people put their socks on left, right, or right, left, or, you know, whatever, whichever way they do it. I don't personally have anything like that. I don't know if you, Michael, have any superstitions that you sort of live by?
Not when it comes to racing. Maybe a little bit when it comes to football, but that's American football.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, the ones with that, the one where they catch it with their hands, you mean, and need like to wear loads of pads.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. I got you.
Yeah, no, I'm a little superstitious when it comes to football, but that's a little different. I don't have any superstitions when I jump in my sim rig.
No. Yeah, Ryan Samuelson dropping a lap down there as well. You can see he's currently in 40th position. Kind of wants to, lost draft, and now he just needs to kind of hang on to the back of this group if he can. Maybe run the outside line. They need some help. There you go, slotting behind them, Ryan, and let them give you, a bit of a boost there, buddy. Let's see if we can get you back on track in this race. You know, they've got 188 laps. It's not like he hasn't got time to get that lap back. One rack. And he could be back on the lead lap anyway. So hopefully Ryan Samuelson there will get back up and running and get back onto the lead lap with anybody else. But outside column led by Jonathan Delaney currently at the moment with car number 32. This Joe Stafford propelling him along from Propel Motorsports. So go on, sorry.
Yeah, Cameron Stone's dropped back.
Yeah, he's done. He's in 18th currently at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just trying to have a look back through.
There he is. Yep. He looks like he dropped down to the bottom line. I think he was running that top line earlier.
Yeah, he was on the outside.
Yeah, it looks like he's dropped down to the bottom line, so kind of getting shuffled around here. It's kind of hard to tell though when they jump between the lines, because that top line is so strong down the backstretch, but coming through the turns, they lose a lot of pace, it looks like. So it kind of evens itself out. But yeah, it looks like Cameron dropped down into that bottom line.
Maybe he just took the opportunity, which is what we were talking about, to thread himself into that bottom line and not have any, kind of staying away off that top line. Which at the moment is it's not like you haven't got a strong driver at the front in Jonathan Delaney, mind you. At the end of the day, Delaney is no slouch. As we said, we were talking earlier on, he's had like 7 wins, wasn't it, Michael, we said about?
Really, I think I was incorrect. My information was 7 wins, but when Carlos put that graphic up at the beginning of the race, it's actually 8 wins. So, yeah.
So Delaney's no slouch there, so we quite happily would sit quite happily behind him. And currently is Baker at the moment as well. So Baker is up behind Delaney, and what more can he ask for, really? With an 8 winner on the 8 times winner this season on the in the lead place really. But I think as we kind of develop and move on and sort of kind of settled in a bit, you know, was that car number 48? 48, that was Matt White there, looking at sticking his, kind of dropping his nose out of that bottom line. But I think, you know, we're looking at about maybe 3 hours, possibly a 3-hour race. You know, I've done a bit of quick maths off before we started. You know, tiredness, fatigue, kind of complacency, all of these things are a factor when you're running this sort of race, aren't you? Because at the moment, you're just nose to tail, staring at the car in front of you, going round technically, which is kind of a tri-oval racetrack. So they've got to kind of keep themselves mentally aware of what's happening as well, as we can see a little bit of wide movement out on the back of the second column there. But they've got to be mentally aware, Michael, haven't they? Because otherwise, you know, one mistake, one error, and it ain't hard, because these guys, you know, these cars are not exactly, you know, full downforce F1 super machines. You know, you've kind of got 4 wheels and a body put on top of them, but that's still that danger that fatigue and sort of mental discipline could kick in and they might lose the focus for a brief moment.
Yeah, you definitely got to keep focus at all times here. It might seem like it's a little easy to, you know, just kind of get sucked into a groove. You know, you're running that high line, you're running that low line, but you got to think these cars are inches away from each other, going almost 200 miles an hour. Like, any little mishap, any little slip up is going to cause so much devastation, not just to you, but potentially to the entire field, especially here in the front of the pack. So yeah, you have to be on your toes at all times. Like I like to say, you got to be proper on the pedals.
Proper on the pedals. Well, that's some good old Queen English for you from Michael there, isn't it? Proper on the pedals. Bird Vision TV, 8 wins, 22 career wins. I mean, that's based on what Jonathan Delaney's stats as well. So Jonathan Delaney, 22 career wins. We've got Hoytsma and Giglio currently is your 1 and 2. With Christopher in 3 and Poleman Russell is currently in 4th place. Seems to be a bit more stable on his internet at the moment. So hopefully there's not anybody sat behind him, which is currently car number 11, which is Robert Anderson. Doesn't have to fear Mr. Russell appearing out of the middle of nowhere, Michael.
I like that the number 11 there, the Frosted Flakes, reminds me of a new version of the old Terry Labonte's paint scheme, the old 5 car. But yeah, no, definitely makes it a lot easier for the 11 car, that Toyota Camry, to follow along, because now you don't have to worry about that car in front of you disappearing. Then all of a sudden you're literally in their rear end, because like, you didn't know they were there, and all of a sudden they're there. Yeah, so it definitely makes things quite a bit easier. I think that 63 was just blinking too, actually, as soon as I said that.
Yeah. Well, let's kind of move away from the internet troubles of the cars as people head down into pit road already. Lap 25 is the start of the first green pit stops, which is what we've got. Hoytsberg, Giglio, Christopher, Murray, White, Skomeda, Hutchinson, Hammond, Root, Mobley and Mosh are all in the pits. So there we go, lap 25-26. Michael gives us a rough idea of what the situation will be. Now the question is, are we looking at fuel and tyres? Yes, we are. Cars are up in the air. So there you go, the 07 car as well. So looking like that's Lucas Hoytsma, and tyres and fuel, and Hoytsma gets out in front of the pack, and as they all come strolling out of the pit lane there was a fair few cars went in. And now
like the second group is coming in.
Yeah, led by Delaney, Long, Baker, Stout and Sosa. Oh, big puff of the smoke coming into the pit lane there. Should be all right, but they try and plummet off that last corner, drop down that banking, and then they kind of got to hit the brakes and try and stop the car, haven't they?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a challenge. This track, that pit lane just kind of creeps up on you. You're coming out of turn 4, and then all of a sudden you see those dotted lines, so you gotta safely get down off the banking onto the flat, hit the brakes, get down to 55 miles an hour. Do that all while you're still continuing to race everybody around you, because you're not the only car going into the pits, especially at this track here.
Delaney.
And it looks
Delaney
like
got a
Delaney,
speeding penalty, buddy.
Yeah,
Which is, I think that was that was the one with the puff of smoke. So Jonathan Delaney, we've got more heading in as well. Do you know the good thing though? And I like the fact that we've got this week. We haven't got anyone missing pit boxes. Now, I don't know if you caught last week's one.
No, not all of it, but
last
go ahead
week's
and give
one. Oh, dude, last week's one, right? They were all heading in. I believe it was the first pit stop, Carlos, wasn't it, if I'm not mistaken? The first pit stops, multiple drivers missed their pit box. And every time we moved the camera to another one, we caught him reversing back into the pit box. And I think there must have been, a good 7 or 8 cars through that period of time that missed their pit boxes. And they were all just coming past and going back again, coming past, going back, coming past, going backwards. Oh, it did make us chuckle up here in the booth as well. But that's pretty much, apart from the top 18, everybody else has made pit stops. And it's contact in the pit lane. Oh, who was that? Yeah, that was Jason Taylor. I think it must have been Jason Taylor and Sean O'Brien there as well. Sorry? What did you say? I didn't hear you. I was talking.
They're Ty Gibbs. A little bit of an incident last week. Yeah, don't mind me. Man.
I don't know. I didn't watch it. So yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Let's just go. Moving on. Jason Taylor and Sean O'Brien. A little bit of having a little bit of contact coming into the pit lane, but it seems to have managed to get themselves sorted out. So that's more heading in as well. We've still got the top 16 not currently in the pits at the moment, and Alex Russell is leading us away at this moment in time. Who's Anderson, Stafford and Ward behind him, and then Bedingfield, Hall and Hinkenbottom. Different strategies, clearly. With the bottom 6, the bottom 24 pitting already. Advantages and disadvantages, what do we reckon so far early on?
Well, going a little further out here, you're trying to, lengthen your tire stint, obviously. That's first and foremost, because you only have 6 sets of tires, so you're trying to get as many laps on this first set as you can. Secondly, you might be trying to, hold out for a caution, hope that you get a caution, get a free pit stop. I'm not really too sure, but these drivers up front here are definitely not concerned about it at the moment. They are staying out as long as they can, and they are going to run it till that tank is dry.
Yeah, they might as well, if they can. And the grip's there, and they've got no issues with tyre deg. They might as well run it out as long as they're possible. Well, surely that's the way I would go.
Yeah, I don't see the tire deg being too big of an issue at this point. I mean, we're 31 laps in, but like I said, this track isn't super harsh on the tires like a Bristol or Texas or some of these other tracks.
I think that's what kind of makes this fun. It's kind of almost like you get the car on track, hit your loud pedal, and away you go for 188 laps, and other tracks where you've got to sort of, like Texas always, where you've got to slow and back on and off and on and off and on and off. And I think sometimes the drivers kind of like this free run in Talladega where they could just hit the pedal and away they go, as we see more cars rushing in. Bedingfield, Hall, Hinkenbottom, Amon, McRae, as more puffs of smoke there as well. And we've got a missed pit box already as we were talking about it. That's never good. Quite sure where that is. Is that Carl Amon in the middle? Possibly Carl Amon may have missed pit boxes. But that's pretty much everybody bar the top 4 who have pitted now, and as you see the table shuffling around mentally on my screen. We're going to wait for it all to settle down, and we'll let you know where we're all up as we're coming up to lap 32. The inside there are coming out of the pits, and the top 4 have now got a lap up. They're definitely running well longer than everybody else, trying to escape as much as possible.
Yeah, no, they're definitely getting out there. Almost a full lap up on the rest of the field you see here, but yeah, no, this strategy I guess is just working out for them. They're gonna just run it until they can't go any further, but I'm a little surprised that they're still staying out there when the entire rest of the field is gonna be on fresh tires from here on out.
Yeah, but Yeah, I don't think that, as you said, Talladega doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right,
you can't. That's like
don't
backtracking,
put my
I think.
own word. Don't put my own words in my mouth, okay?
Well, you started this conversation, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, if you said this, it doesn't matter. And at the moment, it's not really mattering. The guys, yeah, they're doing 49 fours, top four of 50.22, so 6 tenths at the most at the moment. But, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm expecting them in very shortly, though, Michael. Sorry. I'll stop giving you grief this early on in the evening.
It does look like Hoytsma is starting to gain on them a little bit. They were in the 39 seconds back. Now they're about 38 seconds back. So, I mean, yeah, the tire drag here isn't a big deal at all. But at the same time, you know, 34 laps compared to what, 2, 3, 4 laps? There's going to be a bit of a difference.
Oh, so now you're just going to keep digging a hole?
I love digging holes, man. That's what I'm here for.
I can see, mate.
I can't back down.
Literally just dropping yourself in it, aren't you?
I already shot myself in the mouth. I can't back down.
Well, I know, but you're going to have to, mate. Otherwise, you just might as well end up 6 foot under the amount of holes that you're digging so far. You know, Talladega's a problem. Talladega's not a problem. Talladega's a problem. Which one is it, Michael? Stop confusing everyone. Is it a problem? Is it or not?
It's not a problem. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you look at the time right now, the second pack is gaining on them.
Right. So now this is where I would be looking at going in the pits, right? Because average pit lane times are about 39 seconds. 40 maybe if you've got in a little bit slow. If they've got a 44-second gap or 38-second gap, now would be the time to be getting that car in the pits, right? Because you're not going to lose too much time. You'll come out near that lead pack, and you should technically not be too far down the order. But Russell, Anderson, Stafford and Ward clearly are not wanting to do that this early on. And as you can see them here as well, you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you've got car number 36 behind them as well, who's not in the front 4 lead pack. That currently is, as I scroll down the order. Oh my God, I'm going blind. Where are they? Car number, who's on behind the lead pack? Car number 36? Yeah, 36.
36?
These 4 here, Russell, and then behind that. Behind the 65 car. Maybe I'm looking at something completely different. Right, so you got Russell out in front, yeah? And then you got... Right, okay, there we go. There we go, Benefield is behind him. See, I told you, I wasn't going completely insane already. But they're splitting out as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how much longer they take this, because they are, as I say, well over. The others went in 25, 26, 27. We're now on lap 37, so they're extending as much as they possibly can here today.
Want to give a shout out to Preston McRae. He's getting a ton of love here in the chat. Go 53, go 53, get them. The McRaes are definitely here in the chat, strong in the chat.
Yeah, Preston McRae, to be fair, he does well. He got a lot of love last week as well at Texas, so you know what I mean. A lot of love for Preston McRae here on the 100 Cup Series. On, of course, Freeway TV, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up and turn on the bells for multiple notifications when we go live with all the action. So yeah, give it a big old thumbs up as we're looking at the front end of Randy Drumhiller. There from Preston McRae's car, currently car number 53 in 29th place, up 4 spots. So there we go. That's my teammate, says Bird Vision TV, which I believe is Cody. Is it? Tell him it's Cody. Yeah, it's Cody. So welcome, Cody. Thank you very much. So there we go. Well, lap 40. 20 laps to go before stage.
Stafford and Ward are both jumping down, so Russell and Anderson are still out there.
Which I'm quite surprised about, to be fair, because obviously Russell's taking it as long as he possibly can at the moment, isn't he? And
you don't want to go alone, though. You don't want to lose that draft. We saw earlier that the first car that we saw getting down on the lead lap.
Yeah,
you lose that draft, and you're just, hung out to dry. If you're going into the pits, you're going in with somebody.
Well, it depends now what Robert Anderson does, isn't he? Because at the moment, obviously Russell is still hanging him out there. They've still got this 37 gap. Here they go now on the brakes. Whoa! Anderson there, big puff of smoke. So we'll keep an eye on them and see how they get on. But they are coming into the pit lane now. I think they're going to be close, aren't they? 37.
Yeah, real tight.
Yeah, real close. They're going to have to get on that, get out as much as they can. 37 gap.
Stafford was in 3rd place. He came out. He's currently sitting in 10th place.
Yeah.
So these guys might have missed
They're on their way
that.
out. No, they're on their way out now. There's Anderson.
This is going to be close.
Oh.
I don't think they're going to be up to speed.
No, it's going to be running around. Anderson's going to be running around that inside line. Here they come. We can see behind him. Where is he going to get? He's got to get out at some point. How is he going to get out? He's just going to
tag along.
Oh, he's going to join him on the back, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only opportunity he had there, is if he's going to be able to stick with them. Yeah, he's kind of out of luck here. Now Russell is up ahead a little bit, so Russell is he's in a lot better position here. But yeah, no, the 11 car, yeah, Robert Anderson just missed out on that pack, and he's going to miss out on this draft. That's going to be a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it was a tough one because he almost made it as well, so it was quite close to it there. You can see now car number 86 is Alexander Russell, who's now joined on. He's got to try and find a gap on that line to drop into before he goes down anymore. He's currently down 17. It's 17th, down 16 places, and he's still not being able to find a way into that bottom line where he kind of needs to be at the moment. So it's going to be tough. And Robert Anderson, yeah, kind of lost the pack, and now is kind of probably sitting in the middle of no man's land. He's going to be swallowed up very soon, I would have thought as well. As we can see there, that now Russell has slotted in to that bottom line. So almost, I think that was kind of the nearly journey, wasn't it? They nearly, by staying out that longer, they nearly did it, didn't they? And
yeah,
that's
but
the thing.
It's still a little early, I guess. Now, the strategy here is fuel's not going to be a factor for them because we're coming up on 42. The first caution is going to be on lap 60, the stage ending here. So, yeah, I'm a little confused about why they decided to stay out so long. They had a bunch of opportunities to come in and kind of stick with the pack, and it looks like they kind of shot themselves in the foot here.
Absolutely, but that's the chance they take. They've had a go, they've tried something, didn't work. They're on fresher tyres, but which don't mean absolutely nothing. You know, Michael. So at the end of the day, they've given it a go.
Yeah, I mean, you got to try something.
You got to try something, and that something did work. As we see now, they get both of them are in this pack. Robert Anderson is, funny enough, in front of Alexander Russell. So they've both been put back up into this pack again. So yes, they're down the order, 17th, 18th, and 19th, but that's not drastic this early on in a 188 lap race, and we're on lap 43.
Did we lose James? I think we lost James there. Did we lose me?
Hello. Yeah, I don't know. Michael's gone, I think. Hello? Oh, okay, yeah. So, you know, when we're early on, you know, they're not really sort of losing too much time this early on because we are on lap 43 of 188 guys as well. So there we go. A lot of love there for chat for Cody. Hi, Cody. Hello. How are you? Is Michael? Can Michael hear me? Okay, so we've lost at Michael. Michael's this. Michael! No, all right. Well, assume we can't hear. Michael cannot, unfortunately, hear us at this moment in time. I'm sure he's working on the fix frantically in the background, as we can see here on board with Christopher Hammond. They're looking at relining again. Oh, I don't know if they should be or they just be running one line around here on lap 44. We are coming near the beginning of the end of the first stage, though, mind you. So I suppose relining up ready to try and get some points on the board, because at the end of the day, they do get points for stages. And it's probably a good idea that this would just... Right, okay, welcome back, guys, there as well. So just slight little issues, but it's reconnected and we're back up and running. So still in the same position, Heitzman, Murray, Giglio, White, Christopher, Baker, Hodgson, Stone, and Pierce are currently your top 9. I think we seem to have lost Michael altogether currently at the moment. I'm not quite sure where he's gone. He's coming back on. He's on his, hopefully we'll be able to hear what's going on with Michael very, very shortly. See if we can get back in the booth. But at the moment, you got the sultry tones of my voice here in this 100 Cup Series. There we go. Michael.
Yeah, my internet's out, so I'm going to be on my iPad.
Ooh. There we go. What happened? Do we know? It just went off?
Yeah, internet's just out, so I don't know. Maybe it's we did have the hurricane come through, so maybe it's reminiscent from that. Maybe they're doing some sort of damage repair that wanted to wait. I don't really know, but all of a sudden the internet went out. I honestly thought it was you that we lost, so I was very confused there for a minute.
Yeah, no, I was talking, and nobody was responding, and I weren't sure. But there we go. Now we know it's you. There we go. You know what I mean? We had a slight little issue with Carlos in the middle as well. So we're, it's all getting a little bit frosty. Let's hope it all settled down. Lap 47 of 108. Heitzman, Murray, Giglio, White, Christopher, Bacon, Hodgson, and Stone still leading the field. With the early leaders, Russell and Anderson now. They're down in 21st and 23rd place. So they did kind of get hit after them pit stops, Michael.
Yeah, so they definitely did fall back a little bit. Hoytsma is just up the field here. Been a quiet early part of the race for him, but definitely moving his way up the field. So he's, kind of our biggest mover here so far. Murray, I don't think we talked about Murray too much earlier in the race. He's up into second place here. Giglio up into third. So yeah, I do apologize. I'm still trying to get everything kind of sorted out here.
That's
but
all right. Don't worry about it. We got you. So we got Moshe as well, up 21 places. Hodgson up 10. Stone up 10 as well. But I'm finding the more as I do more of these seasons, right? And obviously this was my first foray into oval racing. When I spoke to Damaris and we come in and did it, and then obviously working with Carlos and stuff. So this is my first foray of ovals. The more I do them, the more I find that kind of this mid-race that we kind of have. We have the start, we have the jostling for position, we have the settling down into a couple of columns, and then we go single file. But this kind of mid-race doesn't really, in a way, matter as much as the third part of the race or the beginning of the race, because I'm just finding that they go round and they go round and they go round and following cars. They've got the stage victories to go for. They've got to plan their pit stops. They've got to kind of keep an eye on what's happening around them. But generally, it kind of settles right down. And it reminds me of that kind of mid-race moment that you have with a Formula One race, where you're kind of eating your Sunday roast at the beginning, and then you go from lap 15 to lap 50, where you've eaten your Sunday roast and you're asleep on the sofa because you're there, and then you wake up for lap 50 to 71 because that's where most of the action happens. And I'm finding that that's that same structure of a race. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm looking at it in a different way. We have got a Brit commentating on NASCAR, so at the end of the day, it's not as big over here as it is over there. But I think that's what I'm sort of seeing at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's funny that you're talking about this, and we're seeing these cars go 3 wide here in the back of this front pack here. But no, I see what you're saying. I'm not sure about you, but here in the U.S., we're not eating our dinner when we're watching Formula One. We're eating our breakfast. I don't think I've ever had a Russ for breakfast, but yeah, no, we see these cars going 3 wide. There is a little bit of a lull here, but we're going to see quite a bit more action as we come down. We're about 9 laps left of this first stage. But yeah, there is a little bit of a lull, but I think the strategy there is kind of more of just survival.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to try and survive. Obviously the 3 wide is kind of making it making it more exciting. But I don't know if this is necessarily the right plan. I don't know if this would be something that I would be wanting to indulge in looking at running free wide, especially as they've kind of moved round, and now the two on the outside are just going to kind of getting hung out to dry like a pair of my trousers after the mission's washed them, you know what I mean? Because now they've got to drop all the way back into the back of the pack. So possibly not the right move at this specific stage, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, but I guess coming through towards the end of the stage one, you got to try to make a move here. So, hey, see, we're eating dinner as we're watching now.
Yeah,
see. But they're not watching Formula One, they're watching NASCAR. So that's a little different.
Well, not really, because at the end of the day, they're still eating dinner or motor race. It just happened to be that the time zone falls in. You know, I'm eating, where am I? I'm eating breakfast when they're racing in the States or, Singapore or wherever. There's time zones. These wonderful things that we have in the world that literally confuses everyone. And I don't care who you are. No. Sorry?
Yeah. The Las Vegas race is going to mess everybody up. Yeah. that is just going to be.
That's what I mean. Time zones just go out the window, and I don't care who you are. Nobody understands them, right? Because constantly, whenever I talk to you, and I say to you, right, Michael, we've got to be here, and you go, what time's that? And I'm like, right, it's this 7:30 in the evening. All right, what time's that then?
That's 2 o'clock for me.
Yeah, I was just like, right, Michael, just tell me what the time is now, and I'll tell you what my time is, and we'll work out the difference in the middle. Because this East West PST, BST, GMT, PDT, and CMT. I sound like I'm a doctor calling out blinking operation procedures. I don't know. Oh.
Yeah, East Coast rap versus West Coast rap.
Oh, I don't know. I had no idea. But right, anyway, now we've talked about the Roy and Becky's are sitting there eating dinner while watching motor racing, which means I'm correct. I don't know how.
Yeah, I'll concede.
Second time this evening.
I've already dug myself 2 holes, so let's see if I can put my foot in my mouth one more time.
Second time this evening he's conceded, everybody. I'd like to point that out as well, you know what I mean? And that's not often that Michael even does concede in the first place. But anyway, let's get back into the action that we've got going on currently at the moment. Holtzman, Murray, White, Hodgson, Christopher, Giglio, Baker, Taylor, O'Brien Jr. and Root as well. So we know O'Brien Jr. and Root need to have a good race if they can this time around in race 2 of the round 12. So they've got to be kind of keeping it as, got to be up there. They've got to be up there. They've got to be in with a chance. So that's all that matters regarding the playoff places. So, we'll see how that one pans out as it goes on. Now, there's 14 seconds back from 7th to 8th, which is currently led by Jason Taylor. We've seen Jason Taylor before single-handedly drag traffic. So I wouldn't be surprised if he could do that again, to be honest. I'm not overly worried about where this middle pack is between 8 and down into 23. Before we got Jeffrey Sosa and Bryson Hicksborough, kind of a few more 11 seconds back from them. So that little back end are really starting to lose a little bit more contact than probably they would really want to at this early stage.
Yeah, they're definitely getting back a little farther than they want to be, but at the point that they're at right now, they're probably just kind of holding station. They only got 5 laps left to go in this stage here, so at the end of the stage, obviously, we're going to get a caution. The pack's going to come back together, and it's going to be a brand new, fresh start. So they might just kind of see the writing on the wall for this stage, and just going to kind of survive.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, that's all they've got to kind of do, isn't it, really? Look,
you said it yourself. All that matters is where you are at the end of the race.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm kind of thinking, right? Yes, it's nice to get a stage victory. No,
just get there.
and if you don't finish a race, you can't score any points. And it's more important for the people in the playoffs. But how are you going to score points if you don't finish a race?
Yeah, okay, so you get points, just not that many. But the finish first you have to finish. So, there's that.
That's where I was going.
I know, but I beat you to it.
I feel very picked on in the booth this evening. I know I'm the odd one out here, but at the end of the day, chat, help me out. I feel violated. That's it.
How do you feel more picked on than me?
Well, I'm not the one who put my foot in my mouth and started thinking I was all over the place. You know what I mean?
No, but you're the one that called me out twice for it.
Yeah, well, that's on you on that one. That sounds like a you problem, as my kids would say. Do you know my 11-year-old said that to me the other day? I said
Sounds
to
like
him,
a you, bro.
yeah, I stubbed my toe and I was like, that's absolutely really killing me. He went, Dad. I went, what's that? He went, that sounds like a you problem. I was like, cheers, mate, you little rascal. And he's only 11, bless him. They are getting, gotta love kids every now and then. As we're
My
on
grandfather
board.
used to do that to me all the time. I'd fall down, scrape my knee. He'd tell me, didn't hurt me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, I think it's as well. Yeah. What are you crying for? Because it hurts. Well, I'm not crying. It don't matter. You know what I mean? But there you go. The old funny things we have as we're going up. First time being the butt of a joke. Oh, yeah. That's for you, Michael. Just to let you know.
Well, the second time.
Oh,
third
let's go
time,
around,
fourth time,
Jonathan
man.
Delaney. Delaney's. Oh.
Save. What a save.
Oh, Delaney Tokyo
Hey.
drifting that last corner there, and that wasn't on his own. He was helped by car number 97 behind him there as well. But that was Jonathan Delaney literally saving the car, and unbelievable save by Jonathan Delaney there as well. Oh. Yeah, unbelievable. So Delaney's a lap down.
No, Samuelson is a lap down, the 83.
No, Delaney
No,
is.
Delaney is a lap down.
Delaney
Yeah, he was
is a lap
ahead.
down.
He
How
was
did
ahead
Delaney
of the
end up a
two.
lap down?
He was ahead of the two because remember he had a pit road penalty. He sped in pit road.
Yeah, he got a speeding penalty,
you're
Michael,
right.
didn't he?
You're right. Yeah. Thank you, Carlos.
Nope, you're welcome. Your problem. I will say.
Oh, I'd like
That's
to
my
point
problem.
out. I'd like to point out as well.
Here,
Royal
last
Becky
lap.
Travels. Yeah, last lap. Sorry, I understand. I'll get to your message in a minute. Here we go. Last lap now at the end of the stage. Who's going to get this? Blake Giglio and Alex Murray. And so here we go now. Are we going to be looking at, going to be taking it 3 wide? Surely not. This is going to be Alex Murray's, right? Oh, they're going to be 3. We're going to be 4. They're going to be 3. We're not quite sure. Oh, here they go. There's going to be a caution anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Delaney's trying to unlap himself.
Delaney's going to have a good old go and trying to get unlapping himself as well. And currently Lucas Hoeksma with Blake Giglio behind him as they come to the end of the stage. Here they go. Being pushed along is Hoeksma. Giglio pulls out now. Oh, he's going to be high on that bank and he's got to run that high. They're going to be 3 wide, car number 42. No, I believe that was Giglio.
Yeah.
Giglio got that?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Giglio got that just on the line as well. So,
Caution should be out here soon.
Yeah,
James, what were you saying about it being boring?
Hey, look, I made it. You know, I just got to we got to the exciting bit, which was the stage racing. Anyway, look, Roy and Becky's Travels there. Look at this. Listen, y'all are better than the real ones that think they are announcers. So big props to us. Woo! Sorry, right me own trumpet there. You know what I mean? Oh, dearie me. You got a guy in the UK doing commentary at about 2 in the morning, drinking coffee. So I'm not quite sure what you're expecting. But there we go. Unbelievable action there from Blake Giglio. The caution is out. What do you reckon? Everybody's got to be diving in, surely.
Yeah.
I'd be taking me there's no reason to stay out. I'd be taking my second lot of pit stops with tyres, I think. So there we go. Cody, that was exciting. Yeah, it was, mate. It was right at the end, but Blake Giglio got it as well. So we'll wait for him to go into the pits and see if we can get him in the booth for a chat. Just to see how he's doing in the car. It seems quite comfortable, I've got to be honest. The funniest thing is that the more, we come back and Blake Giglio, Lucas Hoeksma, Alex Murray, they're the kind of names that we see at the top of the timing tower. And Blake's just seems to almost, for me, just be this kind of Mr. Consistency. I don't think so far, I've saying that, I've only watched him, not as many times as Carlos, obviously, but, he just seems to be Mr. Consistent. It kind of almost like, if they said to you, we want you to pick one driver, but you're going to put your house on him, who would you pick? I think I'd go with Blake, because he just seems to be that consistent man that can finish the races for you constantly.
Yeah, he always seems to have a great car. He always seems to be up front in the top portion of the field, up in the top 10, top 5. Whenever I see Blake Giglio up front, I'm just never surprised. I'm always just like, no. That makes a lot of sense. Him and Hoeksma, too. Hoeksma definitely seems to be another steady Eddie a kind of driver that's always just
Eddie.
kind of just up there. Yeah.
Steady Eddie.
Steady Eddie. There's a caster, the guy that casts my Thursday night league. He likes to use the word Steady Eddie, so it gets stuck in my head. I apologize.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine. You know what I mean? I think as we work with more and more commentators and that as well, that we see more and more things picking up. You know, line of stern is one that people say quite a lot, and all sorts of other acronyms
what is that?
come out.
Line of stern?
Line of stern, which means they're one behind each other constantly. You know, as they go into the corner, line of stern, which means they're one behind each other.
I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Yeah, no. When I first started doing this, that was my word until a producer I was working with picked up and said, "Do you realise you say that like all the time?" I'm like, "No, I don't." And it's like, "Yeah, you should listen." And I listened to myself back, and within the first 15 minutes of this race, I must have said it about 30 times. In the end, after that, I swore I'd never say it again, and I actually have not ever turned around and said they're racing line of stern, because I don't know, it's just my mental thing. Turned around and said that I can't say it after somebody pointed it out to me. So I think that's why, you know, you should listen to yourself sometimes, because you'll find yourself saying things, quite funny things, but never Steady Eddie. I don't know, Carlos, you ever said Steady Eddie?
I've heard it before, yeah, but not. It's been a hot minute.
No, well,
A hot minute. I like that.
All right, now,
a hot minute.
All right, what does that mean? Like, what? It's been a hot minute. What? Like,
It's
Been a
been a
long
bit.
time.
It's been a while.
It's been a long
Yeah.
time.
Oh, well, there you go. Why can't you just say it's been a while? Oh.
He just did. He said a hot minute. That's the
It's
same
not
thing.
about just saying it's straight. It's
tell
about
you that-
sending a message.
Oh, is it? Okay, right. There's going to be violence in the booth
Not
before
what you
long.
say, it's
I
how
can
you
feel
said it.
Oh, right. Okay. All right, I'm jumping on a plane now. That's it. I'm coming over. You're driving me crazy.
Let's go, bro.
Full attack mode, as Cody said. Andre's team trying to attacking each other at the moment. In the booth.
Booth is attacking itself.
Oh dear. The commentators having a good old go at each other this evening. I'll tell you that much. We're both on the. I think Michael's woken up on the wrong side of the bed, and I just haven't been in bed yet. So you know, there we go. What more can we ask for? Right. Are we going to try and get Blake in for a chat here? Are we
Yeah, bring him up.
gonna
Bring him up.
You say that like I really. Right, where is he? Where are you, young sir?
I got him. He's in Indy 5. I'm gonna move him over to the waiting room. You guys move him in.
Okay, I got him now. So there we go. So let's drop in Blake Giglio into the booth. Blake, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. Not too bad at all. You know, I'm having great fun up here. You know, stage victory. Happy?
Yeah, we got it done. We got a stage win and got 2 more here, and the last one's the most important one.
Yeah, exactly. How's the race going overall for you, though, buddy? Because you know, we've seen a mixture of things happening. Nothing too dramatic, though, so that's always good. But you just seem to be going around doing your business.
Yeah, you know, I think the biggest thing in these races is survival. You know, you can't win them if you're not there. So I think we got to keep it clean, keep it hopefully up front, and hopefully I'll be talking to you at the end of the night.
Well, Michael in the booth has called you Steady Eddie. I don't know if you know what that means. It basically means that you're Mr. Consistent here as well. So we have said if we had a bet with anybody went out to put your house on a driver, I did pick you. So please, you know, please don't go around losing it now, will you?
I'll try not. I can't promise anything, though.
Well, you know, my mortgage is pretty big, mate. I don't want to be sending it your way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, dude. Well, you carry on doing your thing there, buddy. And hopefully you have an absolute great race. But that is Blake Giglio joining us in the booth. Cheers, Blake.
Thank you.
There we go. So that is Blake Giglio in here as well. Just coming in for a quick chat as we're on this caution now after the stage of victory. He seems quite upbeat, confident, Michael, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, definitely sounds like he's very confident, very cool and collected. We got Rich Petruccio in the chat here. Sorry if I butchered that last name. Cam Stone for president. Where's Cam Stone currently? Let's see where Cam Stone is. Sitting.
12th.
Sitting in 12th here. Okay, there's Cam.
Sitting in 12th place. So there we go.
Hashtag washed.
Right, we're going to be getting underway. Pace car is at green. Lucas Hoisma and stage victory, Blake Giglio. Here we go. Let's see if we can get a full green run again from lap 64 to the next stage, which is 120. Oh, Hoytsma looks like he's bolted already. Hoytsma has gone. He's gone already and instantly goes out to the outside column. I don't know. I think he should have hugged the inside personally, but that's just me. But Lucas Hoytsma trying to there puts it in front of Blake Giglio, and that bottom line is coming through already. And that is, again, with Russell. So Russell's got back up the order. He was down in 23rd. He's now back up the order into 4th place. Right move, wrong move. What do you reckon from Hoytsma? Not quite sure that was the right move, to be honest.
Yeah, I think if I was Hoytsma, I'm going to jump down to the bottom of the line. We've seen that bottom line just so much faster at the beginning of these runs. I don't know if I agree with that, but him and Giglio have worked well together earlier, and maybe they're just going to go ahead and try to continue working together as we see Russell jumping up to the top there. Blinked a little bit. That was a little sketch. That was a little sketch.
Yeah, he blinked right in the middle as he went out from that bottom lane. And I'm not quite sure that should have been the best thing for him to do, to be honest. I don't know. I would have, if I were him, I would have rather stayed where I was. We've seen Nolan Hodgson now out in front currently at the moment as well, as we see this Mustang getting rather close to us there as well. So great shot back from Nolan Hodgson's car currently at the moment. So yeah, that was a bit of a weird move from Russell, and I'm not quite sure what his thinking was behind that, because he's down in 21st place now.
Yeah, I think he was trying to jump to the high line and just that blink, and not really sure. He got sat out, pushed out all the way up to the top, and wasn't able to get back into that top line there. So he lost out quite a bit there, and he had worked himself back up. Yeah, we're going three wide.
Three wide. Here we go. 3 wide into turn 1. How is this going to hold them off? You see them now, absolutely a wide angle shot, absolutely incredible. But let's see how can they make this work? If it's going to make this work, and how is it all going to go for that outside guys as well? They don't want to be losing it now, because if they go down into that traffic, well, that is going to be a definition of a term called the big one. And yeah.
Yeah, we've had a nice clean race so far, so I'm thinking these guys are all cool-headed, but 3 wide coming down to the front straight here across the tri-oval. That's white out there in front, so that middle line is coming alive. We haven't really seen too much of that, but yeah, that middle line is definitely starting to form up, pushing that top line back. They're going to start losing some pace, it looks like, and yeah, no, we're gonna see that. Oh, we saw Russell blinking there.
Whoa! That was a big old slide on there from the 48 car. Matt White was being helped along on his merry travels. Caution's out. Where? Oh! Bryson Hicksborough straight in as well. Oh, that's such a shame.
Oh, that was a big hit.
Yeah, that was definitely there. Who was he involved with? That was somebody who went spinning around. Car number 5. So that was Carl Hammond. Whoa!
Yeah, he had no place to go except for on his roof.
Yep. Well, you kind of wouldn't expect a Bryson Hicksborough coming storming at you. Okay. You know what I mean? Directly right. It's not a kind of an ideal situation.
Yeah, so
I wonder if
he didn't have a chance to check up. I'm not sure what happened in front of him, but all of a sudden the car in front of him was just stopped.
There's Bryson, the Greek guy, in the middle of the pack. Everybody's kind of grouping.
Okay, so the car in front of him had to check
23.
up.
Yeah.
Bryson didn't have any place to go.
No, I think he just carried. That was Zach Roethlisberger come out of the pack in front. You see him pop it out on the right-hand side. He slows down. He goes out onto the right. Bryson just carries too much speed. And boom, and that was close with Damaris Ingerbottom, who just made it through there as well. Look at that. He must have got a little bit of contact out of that as well.
Yeah, it looked like he got tagged a tiny bit, yeah.
Because that car did come flying back the other way. So he must have got a little bit. Just hopefully it wasn't too dramatic for Damaris there as well. But yeah, on his front right there, kindly put it. as well. So we've got
mixed field.
pits again. People out, people in.
There's
Still
quite a
trying
few
to-
people coming into the pit lane.
Yeah, only
like
5
it is.
stayed
Well,
out.
only 5 cars stayed out, mate. So pretty much everyone, 35 cars, come rushing into the pits at the same time as well.
Seems a little early, 10 laps into the second stage here. That seems a little early to be pit.
Well,
Maybe they're not taking tires, just filling up on gas.
That's probably it.
no,
Hmm.
I don't know. The pit lane times are around about the same as what they were after the first one, so if they've done it there as well. So Roy and Becky's travel. Some of these crashes still make me jump off the couch. Well, I like to point out as well, as long as you've eaten your dinner by that point, otherwise there could be quite a mess on the floor if you're still eating and then jumping off your couch with the accidents. So please, if you could just confirm that your dinner was eaten and it's now not on the ceiling, that would be amazing. I think that's kind of important, Michael, don't you think? You know, health and safety warning here on Free Wide TV. Don't jump off your couch with your dinner plate in your hands because it
James
could
is
end up
all
quite
about
messy.
safety.
Yeah, all about safety. Wear your seatbelts. Don't forget that as well. And make sure you eat your dinner. And don't sit there with a bowl of custard because, trust me, you're watching a scary movie with a bowl of custard and some apple pie. Wow, you are wearing that. So, you know, if you could just confirm your dinner is safely tucked away in your stomach, that would be absolutely amazing.
James, I got a question for you. How do we always get on the food topic with you? Every time I do a race with you, you always talking about food.
I think that the problem is generally where I'm so like late, my dinner pattern and my food pattern is all over the window. Like it's all shot. You know what I mean? Before I started tonight, I was eating a bowl of Rice Krispies. So, you know, I think that's the problem. And then as it goes on, I just get more and more hungry. And then my food allergies come out. But look, they've confirmed dinner was finished before they jumped off the couch. So there you go. I've provided a service. You know what I mean?
You have. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It just always seems like we get caught up in these food conversations and
yeah,
you know,
but I just get hungry. I think that's it. The more it goes on, I just get hungry. So more puns come out with food and, you know, talking about dinners and stuff like that. You know, look, I can't help it. I don't know. It just goes. It happens, and that's the way it works.
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying. I'm not saying,
No.
just saying.
You're not saying. You're just saying.
Not saying, just saying.
All right. Okay. Cool. Oh, well done. If anybody could translate what Michael has just said, that would be absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? If you can just translate that one for me. While we're under caution, sorry if you have come in and you're listening to us waffle on. We are under caution on lap 71 here. It's been quite exciting. The first caution I might like to point out of the race. And that is also car number 16, Blake Giglio, blinking as well. But look, that's not bad. First caution at lap 71. I'll take that.
Yeah, no, it's been a great race so far, really clean. It was starting to get very exciting there with all the 3 wide up front there, so not really too surprised that we saw an incident towards the back of the field.
No.
But yeah, no, that was an exciting and clean run there up until lap 68, 69 just now.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well. I think they've probably got to look back at themselves and decide that probably wasn't the best idea at this stage of this race. I think they should be looking at staying where they are for a minute. But look, I'm not in the car, you're not in the car, Carlos is not in the car. So, you know, at the end of the day, they're driving to what they want to do. But it's like trying to tell, you know, it's like trying to tell a child with a fork who you sit next to a plug socket not to stick it in the plug. Now
They're going to learn the hard way no matter what.
Exactly. So that's where the drivers are at now.
They
They want
might
to take
not
it
learn
through.
again.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully they come
It
out.
only takes one time.
Yeah, one time. This one time with a fork, and they didn't learn it again. So, you know, hopefully these drivers will learn that going 3 wide this early stage is not always going to work out, but we are looking at going back green as well. And I can thank Zach Sweeney, who I was commentating with earlier as well, for that analogy about the baby sticking a fork in the plug socket. Right, so here we go. We're going to be back under green with led away from Lucas Hoytsmar, Blake Giglio, Mike Christopher, Kevin Steele. What an absolute barnstorming race for him, up 36 positions there as well. Matt White, Raymond Root, all swapping around as we're going now, lining up ready for this restart on lap 71. Hoytsmar's bolted again. And he's off. He's done. Dropped down at the bottom this time. There you go. That was the choice he should have made after the first one as well. So Lucas Hoytsma there dropping down to the bottom. That leaves that outside column a little bit short at the moment. Car number 24 is Kevin Steele. You're leading the column off, buddy. You've got to make the decision. You're either going to drop down with the rest of the field, or you're going to run that outside line all on your own. And with the 5 cars pushing you along at this moment, hopefully you should be good. Personally, I would have looked drop down. I think where I am, I would have been looking at taking the bottom line as much as I can. Shortest way around the circuit, right? So, you know, the more distance you don't have to travel, technically the faster you should go.
Yeah, but that's assuming that you have the opportunity to do so. I think Steele was looking at trying to get into that bottom line, just there wasn't any place open for him, and he had to kind of stick it out on the high line.
Yeah, unfortunately though, he's still not making a gap, but they're losing time hand over foot. You know, it's like that old saying goes, if you're constantly banging your head against the wall and you're expecting a different outcome other than your head bleeding, you're not going to get it. You know what I mean? Because you're repeating the same process.
That's the definition of insanity.
Yeah, well, that's where Steele now has got that opportunity to drop down. Look, they're pulling him behind him. So why is he not forcing that car in? There's a gap. You can say technically he could have used the gap that was opened up for him. That Russell was now fulfilled, and that as well, car number 16 there. But I don't know. I think they're too. The outside line, as much as we'd love to sit back and say, "I'm going to do a stellar job," I think the problem is it's not quite there. I think it's almost there, and I don't think they're far off it being there, but they're not quite there on that pace with that bottom column. And I've definitely been looking at trying to get my car inside as best as I possibly can.
I think off the beginning of these runs, the bottom line is definitely the stronger one. But we see that top line starting to come back in a little bit. They fell back, but now they're starting to push their way all the way back up. He's back in the 5th place here. He's got an opportunity to drop down to the bottom of the track if he wants it, but you know, that top line is starting to groove in. I think it's just off the start, just off the beginning, that bottom line is really that much stronger.
Yeah, but the problem is they're losing cars. You know, they started off with 8, they're now down to 5, what they got, 2, 4, 6. More and more people are hanging it back and just dropping down into the inside. And I think, you know, if at this specific point, at this specific part of the race, be a sheep. And what I mean by that is follow what everybody else is doing. Because if you're dropping down the order, where Steele was, he was up in 4th, he's now down in 11th, right? Now, that to me tells me that where I am on track is not going to work. And if he makes that opportunity where he's going to join the back of the pack, look, they moved, they lost 2 more. So they're now down to 4. So get it in there, look, the gap's there, just put it in there, because at the end of the day, you're going to be losing more and more positions. You're losing cars off your push. It's not working out for you.
Something, electric fork stock it.
Yeah, I know. But, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It definitely missed his opportunity to get down to that bottom line earlier, and now there's only 3 cars up top. They're not going to be able to hold on to that top line and do anything against this bottom line here. The entire field is on running the bottom line except for these 3 cars, and that draft is just not going to be strong enough. They're just holding on for their dear life at this point. So unless some of these cars decide to jump up there and, you know, try to make a move, but why would you? It's still so early into stage 2 that there isn't really a necessity to jump up and make that, you know, to take that chance.
Yeah, I know, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? They're just kind of going around, and I suppose if we're looking at it from a race perspective and not from our own kind of criticism that, you know, as commentators and that we can bring to a race, because we only see one specific camera angle. We're not sitting in that car. You know, we're not in there with Steele, Kevin, and saying, you know, mate, this is what's going to happen, this is what they're doing, this is what you should be doing. He's not getting any of that. You know, from our own criticism, we can sit back and say, look, this is what you should be doing. What they should be doing on lap 77 for us may not be what they want to do. So I suppose why we're sitting here being critical of Kevin, saying, look, dude, you should have been on that inside line a lot earlier. Maybe for Kevin, where he is working out for Kevin. Maybe that's what he's aiming for. Maybe that's where he sees himself pushing for that, not really the second stage. Oh, that was a back marker, then they went round as well. Not really pushing for a second stage, but maybe looking at the tri-stage of this race, you know, the third stage from 120 to 188, where at the end of the day, we're free wide here. There is a back marker on the right-hand side. I don't know if we can pick up who that is. Car number 44, that's Randy Drumheller on that outside line, getting hung up. There you go, Randy Drumheller, car number 44. It's interesting to see Jonathan Delaney. Yeah, John Miller's dead 2 laps down. Delaney's now down 1 lap as well. We're back up board with Lucas Hoytsma. But as I say, maybe Kevin is where Kevin wants to be. Yeah, Delaney's back up onto the lead lap. So maybe that's where Kevin wants to be himself, regardless of what criticisms we bring to what we see.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're not in the car. We don't know what's going through their heads. We don't know their strategy. We don't know how the cars are set up. You know, every single intricate change on each one of these cars is going to, you know, give you so much different, like, you know, possibilities on how these cars are going to be affected in the shorter term and the longer runs. So, yeah, there's so many variables that we just don't know. It's easy for us to sit here and be backseat drivers, but there's a reason why I'm sitting here talking about it and not in one of these cars. I'm just not that fast.
Do you know what as well? What I haven't noticed is we had a who was the guy from the UK who was doing the series? There was a UK driver, wasn't there? Haven't seen him for a couple of weeks. I can't remember what his name was, to be honest. But there was a guy from the UK doing this series as well. I think the thing is, this series would be cool, right? But first things first, I don't meet the license requirements of being an A license in ovals. But you know, I think from I'm going to start. I'm going to start going to do ovals now because I think this looks amazing. But at the end of the day, look.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, can you imagine me driving around here? You know, I'll give you some inboard commentary as we head around Talladega 500 with everybody in my little car. But I think at the end of the day, it does look a fun thing to do, and these drivers are obviously, you know, a lot better at it, as we said from me and you. I didn't get a chance to drive Talladega. I think I managed to get the track about 15 minutes before we were due on. That's only clearly because I clicked on the session and realised, oh, hold on, I didn't have the track. So, but I think it's something that you've got to learn. It's something you've got to really give a good effort to. Because I don't think you can sit back and say, I'm just going to go and jump in a NASCAR and drive around in circles for 4 hours because I can. I don't think it quite works out like that.
Now with these next-gen cars. These next-gen cars are very hard to drive. They are not easy at all. Yeah, as far as the license requirements, I believe it's A license, and you have to have a 1100 IR. So they're not just letting anybody join this league. I think I have the A license, but I think I'm just south of 1,000, so not quite ready up to steam for that either. So I'm right there with you. But no, I do enjoy driving these ovals. It is such a different challenge than what I'm used to with the Porsche Cup cars. So it is so much different. Like today, I put a couple laps in here at Talladega, just about an hour before we came on, and all day long I've been, at the Nordschleife trying to get ready for an endurance race in the next couple weeks that I'm trying out for. So it's so different, such a different mindset. But at the end of the day, the goal is the same. You just practice, keep your head down, and try to be near the front at the end of the race.
Yeah, that's not always easy, as we know in officials.
No.
In general,
No.
officials in ovals is just, well, you might as well just put 34 cars all on ice and say drive round, because that's somehow how they get treated.
I think that applies to just officials in general.
Yeah, officials in general. I think Carlos said it, Mayor. If I can do it, you can as well, says Cody. And then Rich underneath put, so they can't do it then. So cheers, Rich. Thank you there for the vote of confidence there. Cody bigging us up and you putting us down with Cody as well. So there we go. Poor Cody. Don't worry, Cody. I've got your back, mate. I've got you. Don't you worry about it. But I think that's the hardest thing for me, is driving a NASCAR in officials to be able to achieve the license that you would need to jump in to a great series like this, because you just, there's so many things that go on in the NASCAR officials that people were starting from the pit lane because there's no point going out because everybody's going to crash, and that's where the challenge comes from, isn't it? It's not about going out but it's about winning. And I think with NASCAR and officials, to get your license up, to be able to get up to the grade that you need to be able to take part in this, you would need to win, and you would need to be on front, and you would need to get away, because if you can get out front, you can get away, you're safe from the carnage that generally takes place. And I'm going to say safe because most of the action that you see in officials is all behind the main pack, the main front runners. So, you know, generally you're safe. But it's just having that confidence and that skill level to get out in front, to be able to get away from the pack. And I don't know where I would be if I jumped into an official now to see where they would be.
That's what we need to do, James. Me and you, we need to jump into an official together and see what we can do.
Okay, hold on then. Let me load one up. Carlos, I'll be back in a minute. I'll let you know how it goes.
All right, bro, I'll cover for you.
We'll set up a time sometime this week. Me and you will load up an official. We'll jump in there. And yeah, anything but the carburetor cup. But no, to your point, there's just so much out, especially in these official races. There's just so much out of your control that you really have to be confident. You have to be highly skilled to get up to the front of the pack, to be away from all of the, you know, the trouble, all of the mischief, all of the randomness that happens to these officials. I mean, it happens in GT3 racing, it happens in open wheel racing, but on these ovals, you know, one car just gets loose or gets tapped from behind, and they take out half the field.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing, as we see the Russian pit stops. Yeah. Let's get the Russian pit stops out of the way. There's a lot of swapping around on the boards at the moment. So Hoytsma, Giglio, Christopher Wright, Root, Murray, Stafford, Hodgson, Russell, loads basically. I was going to read them all, but they keep changing on me. So there's quite a lot as well. And I'd like to point out my IRR in ovals is 1,079.
So we would be very close. I think I'm like a 986, so you're only like 100 over me.
I think I'm like
there you go.
1,300.
Oh, well, Carlos,
yeah.
we can all set up a time, Carlos, can we? We can all get into an official. See how we got on. My license class is a B, though, so I don't have an A, so you'll have to come down to my level. So I'm sorry about
hey,
that.
the Xfinity cars are fun.
Yeah, so we'll have to come down and set that up. But, you know, can you imagine that on commentating while we're driving around? I tried that once. It didn't go so well.
Here's some more.
More cars into the pits here. Everybody's going to be taking this opportunity under green as well to get another pit stop in. Do you know, though, that's weird, right? Because that caution was, what, lap 70?
70, yeah, 68 to 69, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and they run 25 laps the first time around.
Delaney!
Did Delaney just get another speeding?
Done it again.
No, he just passed. Yo! Oh, sorry, he just overshot his stall a little.
Oh, okay, so Delaney overshot there as well. But they went 25 laps the first time around, and they've been, what, 15? 17?
Yeah, no, they definitely, they're not going super long on these stints, it looks like, but I wonder if they're just topping off on fuel, because the tire deg is just not really that existent right now.
Here's the thing. They're going in as soon as the window opens. They're only taking fuel, and because they went down pit road a handful of laps ago, they're taking less fuel, so that's precious seconds you're saving since you're not waiting on tires.
Okay,
Yeah, so,
but
yeah,
over the long run, if you're taking less fuel, you're going to have to stop more, right?
I mean,
Yeah, but there's going to be a caution at the end of lap 120.
Yeah, but I suppose they're online to do the 25 laps. Well, no, they're not, are they? They're going to be doing 30. What's that? 32 laps to get to 120.
Yeah, so their window is open.
Yeah, but they were pushing further. Well, let's see how it pans out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's see how it goes. So there we go. Sean Timmerman, that's my little baby in the number 16. Number 16. As we rinse through the order rather quickly.
Blake Giglio.
Blake Giglio. Oh. Good old Blake Giglio. We did have a chat with Blake earlier on as well.
Yeah, won the stage.
So, yeah, he won the stage. Stage 1 winner. Has offered to pay my mortgage if he doesn't win. So that's always good. I like that.
True.
Blake. Yeah,
we have it on. We have it on camera. We have it on tape.
Yeah, Blake's going to pay the mortgage, but then again, you know, we'll have to see how he gets on. But he's currently down in 20th as well. So Blake Giglio in 20th currently at this precise moment. But don't worry too much about it. We got more cars rushing into the pits. Look at them streaming down. All going to be locking up, getting that. There we go, big puff of smoke. I'm glad somebody did it, otherwise I would have looked like a complete liar then. But there we go, as they all come into the pit lane and ready to go again. Another 5 cars in. The next thing is this run to the next stage, right, is kind of putting a part of this race where we've almost had. It almost reminds me of a film where for the that last half an hour you're getting to the end of the story. Now, we're writing chapters every time, and we're writing books almost every time we do one of these races. And you know, the 100 Cup is filled with full stories. If we look back, and I'm sure Carlos could probably, if we gave Carlos an empty book and said, right, write us some stories about the 100 Cup, we probably could. But that third part is where kind of
Preston
the story
McRae
comes alive. Preston McRae is in the pits from the lead currently
by
at
himself.
The moment. All on
that
his
is not going to work out for him.
All
That
on his
is
lonesome.
not going to work out. You do not want to be by yourself on a track on a super speedway like this.
He had to
You
run
need
an
somebody
entire
to track
lap
with.
by himself and then go down by himself, which is even worse.
Oh, just losing so much time doing that. That is not good. That's not a good look.
Damaris Hinkenbottom went in on his own as well. So, you know, if anybody was experienced, but I thought Damaris would have been. But he's obviously gone in and got down the order at the same time. So there we go. Go number 53, that was Preston McRae. You just seen him coming out of the pits now. We think he's lost a little bit of time after running a whole lap completely on his own around here, which is never good considering how strong the draft and tow is. There's Raymond Root. Good job for Root. He's currently leading the field. Alex Murray in second, Alexander Russell in third. Don't forget, this is Russell's first race, took qualifying pole position. So a good job from, check up. Oh, Jeffrey Sosa. Woof. That was Taylor Stout, sorry, behind that. I thought they were going to go nose to tail, and it could have ended up going all a little bit wrong. But there you go. Raymond Root is still out in front with Alex Murray, Russell, Hodgson, Hutchinson, Stone, and Delaney.
I love these pink cars.
Yeah, the pink cars are very gorgeous looking, aren't they?
Do you know why?
Got to be honest. No.
No, do you know why a lot of the drivers are running pink cars?
No.
This month is, well, I guess it's the end of September.
No, beginning. I
October.
thought it was just October in general.
Oh, well, yeah. I thought it was November.
No, it's always been October.
I thought November was Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
No, it's October. Yeah, October has been Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and a lot of drivers in real life and in iRacing like to have pink in their car to raise awareness.
I always thought it was November. I don't know. Don't take my word. Take Carlos's word. We'll trust Carlos.
Hey, by the sounds of it, this is an A and B conversation, and I'll see myself out of it because you two just carry on.
Why don't you make like a tree and just continue commentating?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. No, I wasn't aware of that, actually. I don't know if that's a thing over here. Maybe that's probably why we're not really aware of it, because it doesn't get sort of, it's probably over there quite a lot, but we're over here, we probably don't hear much about it. We're too busy listening to about our PM just going out ruining the country. So, you know, at the end of the day, let's get off the politics situation. But look, don't even get me started with her, mate. I can't even get involved with that one. But back to the racing, we have got about now 27 laps before the end of stage 2. One forced caution involving Bryson Hicksonborough and Carl Ammon, who are currently out of this race at the moment. So there was only one forced caution currently at the moment, and the other one was the stage. So we're only 2 cautions deep at this moment. Robert Stone there as well. Go Cam. Love Dega, says Robert as well in chat. So much love for you. Thank you for jumping in. As I say, guys, don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up as well. That would be absolutely amazing. And if you are watching for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to Free Wide TV, because that would be absolutely incredible as well. Okay, we're settling in now. We've got the last little stage, almost pit stop, over with. We've got the next second stage coming up very short, you know, in about, what's going to be 13, 15 minutes time, if that. So, where's your head at, Michael? You know, where is your head at currently in this car?
Honestly,
I swear if you repeat what Carlos said then, I'm not going to be happy.
No need to. My
honestly.
mic's been hot for a hot minute now.
Oh, well, there we go. Lovely Carlos put it in for me. Go on, tell us then, Michael, where we're at.
I think this has been a nice clean run here since our our first forced caution or second caution of the night. Things have been pretty quiet, but now we're starting to see some of these drivers get a little more aggressive with the 3 wide, which is what we saw right before that caution came out. So I think we might be in for a little excitement here coming down. We still got another 24, 23 laps till the second stage is over. So I think it's a little early to be going 3 wide. I think these drivers are getting a little aggressive a little early. I know they're trying to move up to the front of the pack, but a little too soon in my opinion.
Yeah, we've seen this once before, and it didn't go so well for Bryson Hicksborough there as well, and involved in the forced caution. So I think we're just going to have to really kind of keep an eye on how this one pans out. Not quite sure I'd want to be where they are, I've got to be honest. That's probably definitely a no-go, but look, they're clearly experienced drivers. Oh, he's got out, he's loose.
4 wide.
Delaney would go 4 as well. I'm not quite sure this is the right idea. They're pushing and pushing and pushing. I'm just not sure that is the right way to be going about this. I've got a funny feeling.
Yeah, no, this is definitely getting pretty intense here coming down towards lap 100. They're getting a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, they most definitely are. Which, it's kind of itchy feet, isn't it? You know what I mean? They get that itchy feet stage, and then they start sort of making moves that doesn't necessarily mean they're doing the right thing. And then it could end up being, it could be completely wrong, and they were throwing a caution because they've ended up in the wall. But I think we're a little bit early from really making that aggressive move. If you're looking for the stage victory, then you kind of want to be up with Root, Murray, Russell, Hodgson, Hutchinson, and Stone. Now, the guys behind, Hoytsma, Giglio, Mulch, and Hammond, are not really in that ballpark of being able to pull that 9-second gap back. So is it really worth taking the risk? I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't. But then, as we said earlier on, we're not in the car, so...
I mean, you got to be there at the end of stage 3. That's what matters. So, I mean,
yeah.
If you're Giglio, you could be conservative right now. You know, hold on to that 8th place, hold on to that top 10. You already got a stage win. You know, Hoytsma right there in 2nd place in the first stage, so you could be a little more conservative. But I guess RJ, Root, and Murray, they really want to go ahead and push for this one. Russell, he's kind of had an up and down night. Obviously, his first race here came out on pole. He's in 3rd right now. He was in 1st earlier. He's back into the mid-20s. So I'm not really sure. It's just kind of like one of those, you kind of got to choose wisely if you really want to be aggressive here, you know. But I still think it's 20 laps left of the stage, 21, 22 laps left of the stage. It's still a little too early.
I think that's the thing. They've got a nice little sort of, we'll say, 6-car pattern going on at the moment. They're all fairly going around in a 49.38. They're actually faster than Hoytsman's pack at the moment by 4 tenths. They were on the last lap 49.82. These guys are on a 49.4, 49.37. So, you know, it's not massive amounts, don't get me wrong, you're talking tenths, but they're still lengthening the gap a little bit out to about 9.36, as you can see there on the left-hand side. But I think for a minute I would be kind of wanting to try and close that gap, even if it's by a few tenths a lap. I wouldn't want to be looking at my board and seeing 9.3 seconds, thinking, we're only 20 laps away from the stage now. We've got to be trying to do something. And there's a lot of sort of squirreling around in that second pack as well. As we see the car of 36 there up and down, and I wouldn't really want to be in that position.
You know, I'm
I
kind
think-
of surprised that that second pack is so much further back. They're a little more unorganized, but there's a lot more cars there. You know, so they should have a stronger draft. So I'm a little surprised that they're, you know, 4/10 slower than that front pack is.
And that's what I mean. And they're still. All right, they were where are we at? They were probably about a tenth quicker on the last lap. 49.6 for the front, 49.4s for the middle pack. So, you know, a tenth isn't going to really make a massive indent. You know, not a massive indent. It's like trying to bang in a nail with a piece of paper. You're not going to get very far. So, you know, they've got to try and work together, I think, and maybe leave the aggression at home for a minute. Saying that, they are all sat at home in rigs anyway, so I kind of knew where I was going with that one, but completely got it wrong. But anyway, but I think you get the idea of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I agree. They need to work together. They need to get this tightened up a little cleaner. You know, they're a lot more spread out here. So if they can get it grouped up a little bit more, kind of work together, they might have a chance. But with only 18 laps, 9 seconds, 9.5, almost 10 seconds, that might be a hill that's a little too high to climb.
Yeah, definitely. It's like me saying go do a pirouette on ice and I'm only giving you trainers. It's not going to really work out very well for you. However, you know, once you start sliding, I suppose the pirouette will look quite good. But yeah, they've got to kind of work on this one and tighten up that section, because otherwise it's not gonna be able to go very well. So yeah, let's see how this one pans out. But we've still got Raymond Root, Alex Murray, Russell Hodgson, Hutchinson, and Cam Stone before we get out to the 10:13. Gap out to Jason Taylor, Sean O'Brien, Jonathan Delaney, Joe Stafford, Lucas Hoitzma. So there we go. Michael, you all good?
Yep, I'm all good. I apologize.
No worries, mate. What are you doing? What are you doing? Eating dinner or something?
No, I was grabbing a bottle of water. Yeah, I'm still on my iPad. I'm not sure if I have internet back or not, so I'm still on my iPad, but I had to grab a bottle of water, so I figured I'm mobile. Sorry for the background noise there.
Oh, that's all right.
But,
it's just nice to be mobile, you know. I'm still
Yeah,
cemented in a chair. As long as you don't take us on other excursions, though, I'd be much appreciated if we only hear you getting a bottle of water. And not the bottle of water exiting your body. That would be a nice one.
Yeah, we're going to leave that one.
Yeah, please leave that one silently. I can imagine Carlos instantly in the background going, mute, Michael. Oh, dearie me. Coming into the state of 104 now, 16 away from the end of the second stage currently. And Raymond Root, Alex Murray, Alex Russell, Nolan Hudson, Ralph Hutchinson, Cam Stone are your front six currently there as well, being chased down. These are your leaders, and the peloton being led away by Sean O'Brien, Jonathan Delaney, Lucas Hoitzma, Blake Giglio are trying to close the gap, and at the moment the only thing they're doing is lengthening that gap. We've gone from 9.3 to 11.08 at the moment. Losing time rather than actually gaining it, but they are quite slightly untidy.
Yeah, it is a lot looser of a group back there. So I think you got more people trying to fight for position, get up into the top 10 there. We have quite a few of these drivers that are still in the championship in the top 10 too. There's only 2 cars currently in the top 10 that are not still in the championship. So that's pretty exciting. We got Jonathan Delaney up there, a championship leader who won last week. You know, obviously Hoitzma, O'Brien Jr., Stone, Hutchinson, Root, Murray. We barely saw Giglio drop out of the top 10, but yeah, this second pack is a lot more disorganized, and they're not gaining any ground. They're losing ground.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They have got to be looking at tidying themselves up a little bit. But you know, racing's racing, and they're not going to listen to us at the end of the day. You know, we can only tell them to do what we see. They're going to be the ones making the decisions, and if they're not tidying it up and they lose positions, this is the repercussions, isn't it? You know what I mean?
We saw Giglio dropping down there. It looks like he fell back to the back of this train. I'm not sure what happened with him. Back in the 23rd position right now. It looks like he's possibly lost the draft to this group.
Yeah, nothing's showing up that he had any sort of form of incidents. Not gonna lie, so hopefully he hasn't, and Blake Giglio is okay. Just obviously got maybe pushed out at the back, but he is, as you say, losing the draft at a rapid rate. And then it could end up in the hands of Kevin Steele's group, which is a further 20 seconds back, because at the moment it's 3 seconds off the pace already. So, yeah, poor old Blake Giglio there, going down the bit of the order, 3 seconds back. At this moment, going out to 4 seconds very rapidly. So, we can get a shot of Blake just to see whereabouts he is. That would be absolutely awesome, Mr. Carlos, sir. There he is. 5 seconds. He's losing time, hand over fist, isn't he? Just goes to show.
Yeah, that's how strong that draft is.
It'd be interesting to see what happened to him as well. But as I say, nothing's showing up that there was any major dramas with him. So poor old Blake Giglio just driving around all by himself. There we go. Serenading as well. What more can you ask for? That untidy backpack is still pulling back a little bit now. They're back under, coming under 11. But they need to kind of really go in. Oh, Jeffrey Sosa there making big moves across from the outside to the inside. The gap was there. He had the opportunity to take it, and he took it. So 11 laps to the end of the stage, and then we go into the final 68-lap run, where these guys will be battling it out for the victory here in the Talladega 500 for 100 Cup Series, broadcast live on Free Wide TV with myself, James Barfitt, Michael David, and Carlos in the booth here, providing us all the great camera angles and action that you can see on your screen currently. So there we go. That is the full team behind the action this evening. What do we think? It's kind of in that lull again that we were talking about, that, you know, they're jostling around, they're trying to get positions, back out at 11 seconds, not really gaining. Front pack, Root, Murray, Russell, Hutchinson and Stone are kind of really getting, you know, getting their noses down and getting out of their gap. Go 53 again in chat, so that's McRae got his fans here as well, so well done. I'd like to point out as well, Giglio, when we saw him, was 6, he's now 14. He's closer to Preston McRae in 24th than he is to Taylor Stout in front of him. So there we go.
No, he's fallen back off the pace a lot. I'm not sure what happened to him. I just saw him go down on the apron, let a bunch of cars by, and just had zero pace and fell out of that draft. So I'm not sure what happened to him, but he's definitely fallen back. But lucky for him, we're going to get the end of the stage here. He's already won a stage, so he doesn't have to worry too much about that. But we're going to go to the end of the stage here. That's going to bring everybody up back together, and he'll have an opportunity to move his way back up the field in stage 3.
Hopefully, as we're still looking at 49-second lap times currently as well. So these guys are still putting in a shift. As we said, you know, not massive amounts of lossing on tyre degradation. So, you know, the guys are definitely putting in the shift and still going. So there you go. See our view there. Welcome into the chat. So thank you so much for joining us. 8 laps to go. Stage 2 coming to an end. Led by the top 6 of Root, Murray, Russell, Hodgson, Hutchinson, and Stone. These guys can really, they've made a difference this stage, and I think they've almost laid a statement down that says, you know, look, guys, we can, you know, we can pull away when we need to, and you guys are not going to do a lot about it unless you kind of work together. And they haven't worked together, have they? So this is kind of the consequences of their actions. You know, you don't want to go to prison, don't do the burglary because you need, you know, it's one of them kind of situations, isn't it?
But the can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
They definitely started getting a little excited there. bad towards the last 90 laps there, the like 98, 99. They were going 3 wide. Like I was saying, it was a little too early, and that gave that front pack of 5-6 cars an opportunity to really get away from everybody. And as you see here, they've taken full advantage of that. That second pack is just completely disorganized. They're more organized now than they ever have been, but even still, they're nowhere near as close as the top 6 cars, and they're just able to run away with it. They got a 12, almost 13-second gap back to back to 7th place, and we only got 7 laps there, 6 laps left. So yeah, I'm not too sure what the thought process there was, but getting that aggressive that early, it just didn't work out for a lot of these cars.
Definitely it did not. Blake Giglio has joined on to the Preston McRae pack, 24 seconds back from Taylor Stout. So Blake has managed to found some friends on the race circuit that have put him under their wing now as well. So Blake Giglio with the Preston McRae pack, Kevin Steele, Dalton Mobley, Travis Scrimada, Matt Dicciani, Dustin Hall, and then we go out to the 14-second gap with Derek Heitman, who's driving around with Damaris Hickenbottom. But that was under question when they come in for the pits on their own. So, this is kind of, again, the repercussions of going into the pit lane on your Todd. And you're now back down the order, a lap down. So, I think from now on, I think it's only going to be getting spicier. And I think the real sort of run-in and shoe-in is going to be starting in that next stage after stage 2's finished. And I think that's where the push and people are going to be there or thereabouts. Really, we're going to know who is going to be on for winning this championship, I think.
Yeah, no, it's still a little early here, but we're going to have a lot bigger, brighter picture coming towards the end of stage 3 here. With one more race after this until we cut down to the final 8. We're going to get a bigger picture and definitely a lot clearer. We'll see where Delaney is. He's currently in the lead. I mean, he's only got 8 wins on the season, so he's probably not going to be a factor here. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, like you said, we're going to have a lot more of an opportunity to see who is going to be, stressing out more and more next week. Who the final 4 drivers are that are going to be really having to fight their way up, and Charlotte, the Roval, that's a fun track. I love it, but I mean, you wanna be able to get yourself up the podium, up the points right now. This week, you don't want to leave it to the last week.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm sure they don't want to do at the moment. We're looking at the last 5 races. So we've got Charlotte Roval. Then we've got Speedway, Las Vegas, Homestead, Miami, Martinsville Speedway, and then Phoenix Raceway Oval with the open dogleg. Now, again, that's going to be a different form of racing as well. And they're going to really got to be looking at trying to make the difference now, because, we're so used to seeing them on an oval. So when we go into a Roval at Charlotte next week, they've got to be a different factor altogether, because then we're back out on the Las Vegas Oval again. So, there's a lot going on for these guys, and I think they're going to be wanting to take their opportunities rather now here at Talladega than they would be at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I've got to be honest, because I wouldn't want to be like going into Charlotte.
Remember, Charlotte's the Roval.
Yeah, the Charlotte is the Roval. That's what I mean. I get that's the Roval, but there's more risk. When you bring more corners into any form of racetrack, there's more risk of things going wrong. And
what about Pocono, where you take away a corner?
Wow. Now you're just being pedantic, aren't we? You know what I mean? No, I understand.
Beast.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but I think, when you start adding corners in, you start getting that mentality of diving racetrack, diving people, and sending it from miles away, doing a Verstappen almost. And I think it just brings a different perspective to racing when you've got more than 4 corners on a racetrack. And I think I would want to be, if I was in that battle, I would be wanting to be wrapping up my top 8 at least by the end of this race if I could. I wouldn't want to take the chance at Charlotte to be really trying to wrap up a top 8 finish.
Yeah, you never want to wait till the last minute. Take it from somebody that is a persistent procrastinator. You always want to get the job done early. Taking it all the way down to the last race of, the last opportunity, it just puts way too much stress on you as a driver. You start over driving. And Charlotte is such a smaller, more oh, there is the big one.
Caution is out, as we can see
Right to
cars
end the stage.
flying.
Yeah, nearly.
Right, can we not end the stage now?
No, the stage is over now, whoever was leading.
Oh, there we go. So Raymond Root there looked like he got the stage win. That's car number 38. That's Brandon Pierce. I have to see if we can come off that little bit of a no shot because I couldn't really see. Oh, that's the number 12 car, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Who started that off? That's the number 12 started off in the inside there, and then they come out. And that's kind of it all done and dusted. So that was Jason Taylor.
Looks like they got a bit of they got a little too close to 65, then crunched up by the 96.
He comes down, yeah, then he comes onto the 11. So he comes down onto 11 there as well. So, yeah, Robert Anderson. So, the big one, says Roy and Becky. So
I think he got a little bit of a tap there.
Doesn't matter what he got, he didn't end well regardless, did it?
No.
That's where we're on board with Adam Bedenfield as well. Playoff driver involved in that incident. He's got pretty much a bit of everything in that car. There's it is again. Oh. Hard on the brakes, trying to get that car stopped, and then you just sit there and pray that nobody's going to come into the side of you. Now, literally, the whole field is in the pits. So, literally, all the cars are in the pits. And that was, hopefully, the official big one done and dusted. And we can get on now and run green right to the end. What do we reckon, Michael?
Yeah, no, hopefully that is going to be the last of the accidents. Luckily for us, it came right at the end of stage 2. Unlucky for a lot of drivers, though. That's definitely going to leave a mark. Yeah, I think that's going to take quite a few drivers out. There's going to be quite a few that are really not going to be able to come back from that. There's a lot of damage there. There was some hard hits into the wall. And, yeah, I think
game over.
Yeah, some of these front cars, that front 6, they really got lucky there. They were able to stay away from all that drama.
Absolutely. So hopefully they will stay out and get really kind of settled down now, because this is the final third one, the final stage. The pace car is out. And hopefully we will be good to go as well. So I think, Carlos, I think now time should we take a short little break.
Yep, we'll be right back.
While they're on caution, and we'll be right back.
Get ready.
Right, guys, we are back. The lights are out, and we're getting ready for the restart here for the end of stage 2. I think Raymond Root took that stage of victory. Obviously, we were involved in the big old collision right near the end. Pace car is in. Root, car number 8, and Alex Murray, car number 28 as well. So Root is on the inside, Murray's on the outside line. Is Murray going to be wanting to get back on that inside line? Probably suggest that he would do, as we have previously seen the line there as well. It looks like Alex Russell's still got a little bit of twitchy internet, but hopefully nothing that should affect these cars at all already. Raymond Root, it looks like he has bolted off and he's away and done. He wants to open up that gap. Is as expected there. Michael Murray jumped straight down on the inside there. As soon as Root bolted, Murray was on the inside and done and dusted. So Murray making the right decisions at the beginning of this stage as we go into the final story chapter of the book that we are writing here at Talladega for the 500 series. So let's see how this one pans out, Michael. But Murray did the right thing again, jumped on that inside line.
Yeah, we've seen it all night long. That bottom line is just so much stronger, especially on these restarts. So yeah, he found the opportunity. He got a good start. Obviously, RJ Root was out to the races. Murray was able to find that little gap, force his way in front of Hodgson, and you know, just away they go. But that bottom line is where everybody wants to be right now, and that top line just isn't cutting it. So yeah, he was able to really make it work for himself.
Yeah, Hutchinson and Hoytsma are kind of hung out on the outside there. They kind of need that little bit of a gap, I think, to be travelling, to be able to get the car back on the inside again. So, you know, if you are still here, guys, let us know. Give us a little hashtag predictions on who you think is going to take the victory here tonight. We've got some good, strong drivers at the front of the order. Root, Murray, Hodgson, Hutchinson, Stone, Hoytsma, O'Brien, Marsh and Delaney. So we've got playoff drivers involved in this front run as well. So give us let us know if you think who's going to win. So hashtag and then the surname, that will do, and we will try and accumulate it over the period of time. But yeah, there's more dropping onto the outside. There's more of a group heading. So maybe they do think the outside line can work for them as the pack is all kind of bunched up again. Damaris Higginbottom is in the pits solo. Not the kind of move that I would have thought he would have made, to be honest.
Yeah, that's probably not a planned pit stop. There's probably something's going on there. But let's go ahead and give a shout out to Cam Stone up in 5th place. I know there's a lot of people in the chat that are here for Stone. He's up there in 5th place. So we see that top line is starting to get a little more, you know, a little closer to the front there. Yeah, they're getting a little more organized. There's quite a few cars up there, so we'll see if maybe they're finally starting to work them.
Yeah, there we go with Cam Stone there from Silver Bullet Racing. I see on the right hand side his camera angle there as well with his feather in the throttle. I'm going John Delaney. People are going Patrick McRae as well. Car number 53. Preston McRae, sorry, not Patrick, sorry. Preston McRae, car number 53. Cody's going John Delaney. Where are you going to go, Michael? What do we reckon?
I think I'm going to go with Stone. I'm going to go with Cameron Stone.
Okay.
I got Hoytsma.
What about you?
Carlos, who you going for?
You got
Hoytsma. Yeah.
Hoytsma? Do you know what? I fancy Russell. I know he's had a little bit of an up and down night, but I think he could turn this around. And I'm going to go Russell. So we've got Russell, Stone and Hoytsma in the booth. We've got Delaney and Preston McRae in chat. So, and we'll see who comes out on top on this one. And as we go into lap 127 of 188. So 61 laps remaining. I reckon as well, we could be in here. There's a lot of itchy feet going on. And I'm going to say that in the nicest possible way because there's a lot more movement around the pack there and from left to right, Now, we've seen this before, but they've gone left to right and they've tagged the person in front and they've gone round. And next thing you know, it's just been one big mass crash after another. So I think from that point of view, I'm a little bit worried that we might actually get another full bore caution here. As you know, I'm hoping the drivers play sensible, but there just seems a little bit too much movement for me at certain points. And if any of them checks up, there's not anywhere for them to go. So it could result in another. There it is,
James.
There it is. Oh.
That was all James. That was all James.
Oh, I told you it was coming.
You called it. It came because you willed it into fruition.
No,
you brought it out. That was all you.
Yeah, but there was just far too much movement going on in that pack. Far too much. And I think that's the thing. There's the checkup, 84, 48. Mm-hmm. So Randy Drumheller was involved in that one as well. Randy just, well, his car doesn't look healthy, I've got to be honest with you. But watch here with Drumheller. It starts off on the outside lane. There's a pink car goes out, and then car number 84 comes down. Boom, 16, 32, 44. He's up into 53. That's Preston McRae pushed against the wall, not once, but boom, twice.
That was the
three times. There's car number 70, 37 as well. Matt DiCiani, Preston McRae, Mike Christopher, Matt Long currently in the pits. That's a huge one. And yeah, unfortunately, car number 97 as well. Matt Long involved. Oh man, the list is just looking like it could be an endless list of cars there. At least 10, maybe 11 cars might have been involved in that. And yeah, Preston McRae, I'm sorry, was involved and is now currently sat in the pits. So yeah, that kind of started off. There was a pink car on the outside that moved out. And I don't know who that was. I didn't see the number on it, but it looked like as he moved out, chaos kind of commenced after. So yeah.
Yeah, he got loose, had to go up a little bit. There was a bit of a checkup behind him, and it was just a domino effect all the way back the pack. And, that's how these big ones start,
Yeah, I am wondering whether or not that was Kevin Steele, just by the livery of what we saw earlier on. Maybe we'll try and have a look back and see if it was Kevin that went out. And I think as he goes out, I think that's where chaos commences after that. So, yeah. We're going to need a bigger hammer. You certainly are, yeah. You might need to have a rethink as well on your person who you think is going to win. So, yeah, if you've got another choice, put it in. So, Rochelle McRae, sad poor 53. Yeah, that was a big hit. And it wasn't just by one. I think I counted 3, and that was before he'd even come down off against the wall. So, Preston McRae there was kind of just facing the wall. But I do believe it may have started off a little bit out with Kevin Steele pulling out, getting a loose on the outside. And then everybody just kind of went down after that. And yeah, that wasn't good for anybody. As we can see, the blue pit lane cone getting shot around the track there. Guys playing football with the pit lane cone. And I mean with your feet, not with your hands, Michael. So there we go. Well, told you it was going to come. I didn't realize it was going to be I didn't realize it was going to be at the point I was talking about it happening.
I think you willed that one into life there. I think we got to blame James on this one. I think you just wanted it to happen so badly.
Yeah, I that was the thing. There was just too much going on. And
there was a lot of movement there.
Yeah.
They weren't going 3 wide, but they were not settled in. There was a lot going on there. It definitely seemed like a very tense moment. As it turns out, you're right.
Yeah, it just didn't seem settled, did it? It didn't seem comfortable with everyone running, one behind each other on the same line almost. It was just a little bit more squirrely than that. But it looks like a lot of love was for Preston McRae, and unfortunately he is in the pits and been in the pits for about 3.5 minutes. So we'll see whether or not he's going to make it back out, and if he is, how much of a damage it's going to cause for him. Mike Christopher, also another one. Matt DiCiani, Matt Long, also as well. Look like Matt Long is either out. No, he's back out on track, so Matt Long may have survived. So we'll just have to see how this one all goes. But if you want to have another pick on who you think is going to win now, give us a hashtag and the number. But seeing how we get on. But the light is out on the pace car, so we are getting ready to go again. Blake Giglio is only just gone into the pits. It's a little bit worrying for Blake because that's a solo pit stop. So Giglio not going, not doing too well. But go on, sorry.
I like that pick that you have. I'm sticking with Cam Stone, but I like that pick with Russell. He's definitely had an up and down race, but I feel like it's been more ups as he gets further and further along into this race. He's been more steady, more consistent towards the front of the pack. I like that pick that you have there.
Well, I'm a little bit worried about his internet because, you know, he is a little bit blinking in and out, but I'm hoping that isn't going to cause problems. And as I say, if he does just randomly disconnect, then I know my pick's gone out the window as well. You know, you got Cam Stone, Carlos has got Lucas Hoytsma, so and we've got 57 laps remaining. Let's keep it clean, gentlemen. Roy's going right. The Roy and Becker go for 57, so they've gone for Cam Stone as well. So there you go. You're not on your own on that one, Michael.
No, I know I'm not on my own. I know there's quite a few people down there. I think Cam Stone's uncle did show up. Robert Stone, I believe, is Cam's uncle.
Yeah, he did show up as well. So now we've got Cam Stone there for Roy and Becky in chat. So if you want to have another go, see our view. If you want to have another go, Rachel McRae, if you want to have another go, let us know. Cam's hungry. Oh, don't start hungry. You'll end up with me on the food topic again, Cody. We don't really want to go down that route again. I will mention, though, I've never heard steak and baked potato, but we won't go through that one either.
No, you were in the wrong place for that conversation.
Yeah. Right, here we go. Here we go. We're back on the restart with Raymond Root and Alex Murray.
I'm going to let that one slide.
Yeah, I'll be ganged up on that one if anybody agrees with that. Right, here we go again. Murray's got to look at jumping on the inside when he can. He's got the gate open. The Root has done the jump, left the door open, and in goes Murray. Done. Teamwork all over with. Sorted out from them goes by Field Fella Racing. Murray and Root, they're working together. Murray's on the inside, pushing Root forward. Closely followed by car number 42, Nolan Hodgson, Cam Stone, Sean O'Brien. My pick's got to get on the inside. Alexander Russell's got to get on the inside line because he doesn't want to be doing that. So let's see. Longer than a year there, winless streak for Cam Stone. So, let's see how Cam can get on if we've got 100, if he is longer than a year. So, could this be Stone's race?
Maybe he needs to pick up those zip ties. Maybe that's what it is. He's left them on the ground this whole time. Maybe he needs to pick them back up. Maybe that's what the issue is.
Maybe. But then again, I suppose if he's been a year without a win, why hasn't he picked them up sooner?
Well, I don't know, but I guess those are from when he won a championship, which I guess was a year or two ago. I think there's the correlation there. I think he needs to pick up the zip ties.
Yeah, pick them up. I mean,
you heard it here first.
Right. Well, we heard it here first, but it doesn't mean we're right. I've got to be honest. But we've got from basically 25 down to 1 are literally probably within about a 3-second gap, if that. So, there's a very tight field currently at the moment on this restart. Lap 133 at 188. Talladega 500. Race 2 of round 12. And let's see how they get on. And we head into Charlotte Roval next week. And I think that's going to be a different race altogether, to be honest. But let's see how this one pans out for now. We're back trying to get these cars to the end of this race. Currently, Root and Murray are out in front with Hodgson, Stone, O'Brien, Delaney and Hutchinson. Russell has made his way back up into 8th place. So let's see how Russell can get on it as well. My pick there, my boy and my horse I backed. Let's see how it gets on. But, this seems a little bit more settled now than what we've seen before. Yeah, there is a little bit more movement, but I think the front now have cleared out from that risky top line that we've stated numerous amounts of times. It doesn't currently, it's just not working. I can't, we're trying to get a different result from the same action and it's just not happening. But, what do we reckon, Michael? What do we reckon?
Yeah, I think they've just proven all night long this bottom line is where everybody wants to be. And I think right now everybody's seen that we've had a couple cautions trying to go a little too crazy with the top line. I think people are gonna cooler heads are gonna prevail here until we get a little closer to the end. At least I think we're gonna see some really calm, clean racing for a while now until we get closer to the end. I don't think
No.
anybody's really gonna make too many waves here.
No, we're expecting a pit stop, to be honest. I think if they're going to be looking at coming in, they would be in the next 15 to 20 laps. Looking around 155 after this caution. They've all been in once as well. So we're probably looking at 155, maybe 160 before they come in for the final sprint. Fresh tyres, get some fuel in, and then go for it for the third and final part of our story. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're writing every single week is a different chapter in the book for the 100 Cup Series this season. It's been a long season for these drivers, but this is where it really kind of matters now. They got themselves into the playoffs. As you can see, Benefield is out. Hicksborough's down 4 laps.
We got another caution.
And we've got another caution already. Where is that?
Piston Hall.
We're going to have a look back now. Oh! That was number 11 as well, and 12. So Jason Taylor involved in that one. The car number 1, and so that was Dustin Hall. So let's start with the 11 car, Robert Anderson. No, they were in front. They were all squarely in front of that.
I'm gonna show this replay again. I want you to look at something on the 1 car.
Okay.
I'll slow it down for you when it happens. Doesn't seem like the hit's actually that hard. When you take a look at that tire, it's a drift tire right there.
Yeah, shot, isn't it? Didn't look like he got much of it, but it's caused him severe damage there as well. So we are back under caution. People diving back into the pits.
Oh, 4 drivers stayed out.
Yeah, front 4 are out still. Raymond Root, Alex Murray, Nolan Hodgson, Sean O'Brien. Stone is in, Delaney's in, Hutchinson's in, Christopher Hammond is either going to be making a move into the pits or going to be going out. Matt White as well. You don't really want to kind of be driving. I think Matt White has kind of gone round actually. It's the top side there. But pretty much most of it, everybody else is in the pits. So we are under the 5th caution this evening. 3 have been forced, 2 have been stages. Oh, that was Dustin Hall missing his pit box right in front of me. Yeah, that's a shame, really.
I really thought we were going to have a lot of clean racing there,
Yeah, we're not kind of getting that run in that we thought we were going to get.
No. But it is what it is. These drivers know what's going on. There's a lot on the line here, especially for these top 10. Looking at the top 10, there's only 3 cars in the top 10 that aren't part of, the championship 12 right now. So
yeah, they're definitely going to have now a different. They've got to be looking at trying to go longer than what is actually going on at this moment in time. I think to go through this flurry of cautions one after the other, they've kind of got to settle down. Otherwise, we're never going to be going. They're never going to be looking at going forward. So,
Yeah. If you're RJ Root or Andrew Murray, did you want to miss this chance to pit for fuel? Like you run the risk of having green flag pit stops from here on out.
Yeah, but they're not far out of sync. That's the thing. They're not far out of. They're not losing anything by not doing it, because at the end of the day, they're kind of looking at 155 anyway. I reckon we're going to start again 155, 160, unless of course we throw another caution into the mix and then we might see them in. But they're going to want to go for that last at least 28 laps, 25 laps even, on the fresh tyres that they're going to be wanting to put in, on the fuel that they're going to want to put in, and they're just trying to run down what they've got on board. But at the moment, they're just not really succeeding. So in that way, Raymond Root and Alex Murray are kind of gaining from all these cautions and not going in where they're at the moment, because there's really no need. We had a caution not long ago. What benefit are they going to get out of it?
Yeah, that's true. I was just thinking, you know, topping off here might be a good idea, but yeah, like you said, they're going to have to come in, 155, 160 sometime before the end of the race here. So yeah, you're right. I agree.
Thank you.
Just, you know, my only thing is, you know, is it gonna, you know, bite them in the rear end here, you know, because everybody else has already topped off. So if we don't get another caution, is everybody else going to be able to make it now that they've topped off, or no? Are they going to have to stop?
No. I think even if they run empty, I think the maximum was about 35 laps.
Okay.
So it's going to be 174. So I think they're still going to be short, but
yeah, if they're still going to be short, then yeah, you're right. The strategy isn't going to matter at this point.
no.
But if those cars can run a little longer, then
It does, you know. The thing is that they know where they're at. Raymond Root and Alex Murray, Nolan Hodges, Sean O'Brien, they all know where they're at regarding fuel and tyres. And at the end of the day, they must know that they're in sync. But they clearly must be. They clearly must be, because, to say, beneficial-wise, Talladega not much of an issue. So there's no need for them to worry about that. Fuel, they're going to be looking at going in again, even if they haven't already got enough on board. I think they're going to be looking, pretty much most of the field's going to go in again anyway. So from their point of view and from their perspective, they're doing the right thing. They're probably going to be looking at doing the same thing. Root's going to bolt, Murray's going to tuck in behind Nolan Hodgson, in front of Nolan Hodgson, unless Nolan can really get a jump on Murray on the outside, and he might be able to keep him there, but it's a big ask, because he needs everybody else. Hodgson needs everybody else behind him to keep the door shut. It's like when you're sat in the traffic and some smart guy tries to go around the outside and wants to cut in. All I do is just drive my car right up into behind the front of the car in front, and he don't get in. But they've got to kind of trying to do the same thing here. But get ready, guys. Here we go. The pace car's in, the lights are out. Root and Murray is the ones you want to focus on. When Root bolts, Murray needs to go. They're obviously going to be in the same voice chat, so Root is clearly going to be turning around saying, right, I'm going. For Murray to know. There he goes now. Can Hodgson keep Murray on the outside line? Murray did not get that run. If we can go back just a car, back to Alex Murray, I think you're fine. Murray is trying to force that gap, and this is not going to... Oh, he got it. He got it, but he was not. Yeah, he did not get the jump of Root, and he just made that gap work, because Hodgson, if Hodgson was a split second quicker, Murray wasn't making that. And that could have hung Murray out to dry there, but Murray made it this time. But I tell you what,
a heck of a charge from the top line here on this restart.
But they've lost cars again. More and more people are running the outside line, and then they're dropping in when the gap's there. And I think this is where some of the problem is causing why we had that caution, because there was that swap over as well. And these guys are trying to run that line, but at the same time, you've obviously got the movement of people inside. And I think it was car number 24 last time out, Kevin Steele, moving to the outside, that caused that last crash we had before. So, yeah, we're going to have to see how this one pans out for these guys currently at the moment. But I think they'll be looking at trying to drop in as quickly as they can.
Yeah, Cam Steele's leaving a little bit of a gap there. Or Cam Stone, I'm sorry, is leaving a little bit of a gap there. So you got to watch that 65 car coming down.
Yeah. The problem is, but they're going to take the opportunity, aren't they?
Yeah,
and you've got to take the opportunity. And if you think it's like trying to squeeze into a parking space in a busy car lot, if you think you can get in it, you're going to get in it. You know, and if these guys on that outside line feel that they're going to be able to get into that bottom line because the gap's there, they've got to ride like Murray and Root. They've got to ride nose to bumper to stop anybody trying to squeeze in.
Yeah, you really got to take your opportunity when you can. We saw Murray really cut the front end of Hodgson off there. That was very close. Very sketchy, but it's what he had to do. He had to get down there. He had to get down underneath on that bottom line, and he had no other choice. He forced his way in there, but it worked out for him. We got lucky.
Exactly. Robert Stone in chat. Rolling Stone, bring it home. Rock and roll, baby. Cam Stone currently in 5th, up 13 places. Christopher Hammond is up 24. Nolan Hodgson is up 14. And Raymond Root, your leader, currently up 19 places as we go under the 46 lap mark here at the Talladega 500. We'll see how this one can pan out. Ooh, nose to bumper. Look at that. It's being pushed along. But I can see what you mean about the outside line. They're not dropping off as much as what they had done at this early restart that they're done now, but they're kind of, kind of almost making it work. Almost.
It's a bit of a no man's land right there. Like, it's just not quite there, but it's not far enough away to not try it.
Yeah. It's like as we say, you know, when you're driving and you got 6 seconds to the car in front, 7 seconds to the car behind, and you're all on your Todd, like, you know what I mean? That's kind of where they're being hung out on that outside line, because I've got to be honest, though, the only one thing we're seeing from this is they're not losing as much as they normally do on a restart. So that's good, right? That puts Carlos's choice on Lucas Hotzmeier right in the mix. You know what I mean?
No, they definitely had a way better jump off the start here. All race long, that top line has just been falling back immediately. And we see here they've been able to keep up and almost even take the lead a little bit.
And I'm wondering if, you know, look at the driver who we've got out there. You know, you've got Sean O'Brien, he's in the playoffs. You've got Hoytsma in the playoffs. Delaney in the playoffs. You know, you've got Kevin Steele behind them. Not in the playoffs, unfortunately. So, unfortunate for Kevin. But they've got to kind of make sure that they don't start doing what they're doing at the moment. As I speak, saying that how well they're doing, they're now kind of dropping off. But they kind of don't want to be doing that. They kind of want to keep that momentum that they gained going forward, I think.
Yeah, but it looks like they come out of turn 1 and 2, get to that backstretch, and that's where they really gain that momentum. They're coming through here. They're coming out of turn 2. They really start making their ground up right here on the backstretch. I mean, look how many cars they've already closed up on.
But it is that struggle of turn 1, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's a struggle coming into 3 and 4. They just aren't fast enough down the front stretch.
And I think that's the thing they're going to have to look out for.
They come out to here, and this is where they start losing it.
Yeah, but it's got to be a reason why. It can't just be all of a sudden they're miraculously losing time for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just, like you said, turn 1. But you just watch it right here. This is where they start falling back. Turn 1 coming into turn 2. They get back into each other, and then they start making up some time coming down in the back stretch. But this time they're a lot more disorganized, it looks like. I don't think they're going to make as much room this time.
But then again, they start going forward again at the hands of O'Brien, Hoytsma, and Delaney. So then they're persevering. Whoa, here we go. He's off. It's going to be a caution.
Off track, no caution.
Oh! That looked like we were going to have another one on lap 147. Keep it there, keep it there. It's just off. That's Cam Stone. That is Cam Stone, car 57. We'll try and pick up what happened to him, but that has really thrown him out. Oh, there's contact there. That's car number 17, Christopher Hammond. How is that not a caution?
Because it's
so
off the
confused by that
racing
one.
surface.
Yeah, it's
below the apron, yeah. And then car number 45 as well.
Just a
was
spin, though.
involved.
I think it's 46, actually.
46,
yeah,
sorry, not
they're going to
45.
be able to just kind of throw themselves into the pits real quick and, you know, switch out their tires if they have another set left. That won't hurt them too badly, but I'm not sure what happened there. The 17, did they just get caught out in the middle? Were they just trying to go 3 wide and it just didn't work?
No, there was when you look at what we're currently looking at, the positioning of the corner, they're not going right behind each other. You see that movement they're making. As you know, Kevin Steele's doing it on the top line at the moment. That movement back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The problem is when they come off the corner and they're back and forth, they're touching the guy in front, but they're touching him on the right or left side of his bumper, therefore giving him extra sort of almost traction at that specific part of the car, which is causing the car to go off in that direction. I think that's the thing. When we're seeing cars going left and right, the contact is coming from the opposite side because they're almost building up that traction where they're spinning the car the opposite way. So if I hit it on the left-hand side, the car jogs to the right because that's the tyre that's got the more grip, and that's why you end up spinning off into the wall. And that's what happened there. The contact was on the right-hand side, which they made the cars go shooting off to the left, and that's why they ended up on that infield section. They've got to be careful coming off the banking and trying to not position themselves behind the cars, because at the moment they're coming off the banking and almost touching the other side of the car, which is forcing it to go the opposite way to where it wants to. So they've got to be a little bit careful. This squirrely back and forth is what's causing some of the issues we've got currently with this caution section.
Yeah, and I think it was either Carlos or Andre, and I want to say it was you, Carlos, that was telling me a couple weeks ago that these new next-gen cars are a lot more rounded on the front end, so it's a lot harder to bump draft with these cars.
I think that was Andre, but no, yeah, it's
Okay.
same concept, yeah.
Yeah,
And they're all three manufacturers are different in how rounded or not rounded the front end is. The Fords have one of the more flatter ends. It's of course rounded in the sides, but the Fords are perfect for pushing other vehicles because of their relatively flat front bumper. However, the Chevy has a very pointed front bumper that has been rounded off in the past, but it's still relatively pointy. So it's very difficult as a Chevy driver to push another person, just because if you get them wrong, they can maybe get tilted in the wrong direction. And the Toyota's kind of in between both of them.
Well, there you go. And we've only got, well, two Toyotas in the field, one by Ralph Hutchinson and one by Robert Anderson. And it looks like possibly Anderson might be out at the moment as well. So currently, one Toyota of Ralph Hutchinson in the field. So there we go. Well, damn, fam, says Robert Stone. Lord have mercy. Cam Stone dropping down the order now. He's currently down in, where is he, 22nd place. So sorry, sir. He's down in 22nd. So.
Hey, look who's up front, though.
Yeah, Blake Giglio made his way back through the order. Out of nowhere,
he was having some issues there in the second stage, and now all of a sudden he's up front.
Yeah, absolutely. Robert Anderson, where are you, Alex Russell? Oh, still in 8th, so I'm good. Carlos is, Lucas Hoytsman's in 5th.
Yeah.
So there we go. Unfortunately, Roy and Becky's Travels, every car you pick has gone down the order, and you've gone for Cam Stone and he's dropped down the order again. So would you like to have another go as we go into the last 36 laps there? Would you like to have another crack at the whip, shall we say? So don't forget, guys, as well, we are just having a little bit of fun in chat as well. If you want to put your hashtags in chat, then the car number of who you think can pull out the victory. Unfortunately for Roy and Becky's Travels, they're on their third. This would be their third pick currently. So there we go. But let us know if you want to have another go, and give us another car number, and hopefully they'll make it to the end for you. So there we go. That Hoytsman's still running that outside line with Delaney, and I don't know if, I suppose in a way, Michael, that's not a bad choice to have on that outside line as we come past the number 46 car there. That's Patrick Mulch. So I suppose in a way, having Delaney and Hoytsma is not a bad kind of combination, really, is it? I think that's what I'm trying to say. They're both very experienced drivers.
Yeah, they're both very experienced drivers. They're both very fast. But it doesn't matter at this point. That top line just hasn't been able to really push past and make a move on the bottom line. Like, they get close, and then it just falls apart. I don't see that top line really being able to make a dent at this point. So even though we have those two really fast drivers, Delaney, who obviously, won 8 races so far this season, he's the current championship leader. Like, we know he's no slouch, but I mean, all that skill aside isn't going to change the fact that top line just isn't cutting it tonight. But going past Cam Stone here, it looks like that is going to change things up a little bit with some of these lapped cars. We see 3 wide. This is going to make things very spicy.
Oh, come on. Settle down, gentlemen. Settle down. All right, so number 8 now. So Ryan Becker's driver as well, Raymond Root. So our current lead car there as well. So third time lucky for Roy and Becky's troubles in YouTube chat. It's even out, or they're the Black Widow. Every number they pick, they've gone down the order. So hopefully you're not the Black Widow. You're going to be the third time's the charm, and Raymond Root can make it home. So let's see how that goes as well. So let us know if you have had a pick and your car has fallen down the order. If you want to have another go in chat, just hashtag give me their car number as well. Mine's still sailing along. Michael, do you want to have another go? Because obviously, you went for Cam Stone. Down in 23rd at the moment. I'm going with Giglio. Go with Giglio. Oh, so picking the lead, man.
I'm just saying, like, we know he's fast. He's already won a stage. He's from Rochester, New York. I gotta love him for that. I got a lot of family in Western New York, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Giglio. But I do also want to point out the fact that it's 156 here, so we should see these cars, coming in for their final pit stops.
I think so. Yeah, if we got the run right, if the calculations have gone correct, they're going to be starting to look at it coming down even. There's that movement. Do you see that movement when he comes off the corner? And that side movement. Loose. Yeah, that side movement is what's causing the problem. And you're almost just force gripping the tyres that you're going to hit to be able to grip that way, and they shoot off in a complete opposite direction. And hopefully they've got to kind of maintain. There's that movement there. There you go. Look, 4 cars did it there. Root did it as well. Lucky enough, he was just a little bit far back from Hoytsman not to have that issue. So there we go. Have faith, boys, says Robert Stone. I think Cam is a little bit too far back, mate. I've got to be honest. I'm trying to have faith, but he's 51 seconds back from the leader. Could be another massive crash. There could be. Could be. All right. Well, we'll have faith for a little bit. But if we get into green running, and we'll see how they go after the next pit stop, because we do believe they may have to do one more. That's based on previous calculations that we've looked at. So they might have to do one more pit stop. So we'll see where he comes out after that and see how he gets on.
Yeah. This front pack definitely is very well organized. They are getting a little loose off of the turns, but we're not seeing anybody have to check up. So that's definitely keeping us caution free here as we see those top 4 cars were bumper to bumper. There for a moment, just glued to each other.
Yeah, but I think that's what they need to be doing. That's what we're talking about. They don't need to be doing no sudden movements. We see Matt Long on the outside there. Well, there he is. There's Matt. They don't need to be doing this squirreling around. I think they need to be playing it as they are currently. Trying to run the same line, the most, I suppose, the line with least resistance. Don't get me wrong, these are not aerodynamically programmed to be that way, but they've got to be running around sort of in the line that they're in, really. They don't want to get another outside inside line because it's just not working, and they need to kind of settle down. So there you go. This train is shaking. It is. I think that's the thing. That's what we were talking about. The train isn't straight, and it's a worry. It is a worry. I know, you're probably hoping that there is another big one, Robert, that could be able to move Cam up the order, but they're not line. Oh, I almost said it then. They're not.
Oh,
you know,
what was that? What was that? What was that?
They're almost not line astern. That's what I mean. They need to be tucked. This is where I can use it, I suppose, once in 4 hours. Give me a break. They need to be tucked in behind each other, and I think that's this snaking, and that is not helping at all. Whoever that was, I think that might be Root having a blink on this time around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
think
they
that's
need.
Murray.
Yeah, Murray or Root there, but they need to be locked in. They need to be locked into what they're doing.
Yeah, getting loose off the turn is not helping anything, but I mean,
Here we
we
go.
haven't seen anybody really have to
It's
check
time.
up. So, and yep, we got
Oh.
everybody coming in.
Oh, 160. Look at that. Bang on the money, baby. I tell you, I'm getting good at this old NASCAR stuff, I tell you. By the end of the season, I'll be an expert. Hey? Carlos is sitting in the back shaking
No,
his
I
head going,
agree. No, I agree.
But there you go. Oh, car 23 has just had to reverse back into his grid slot. Zach Roethlisberger there. Sorry, Zach, to point that out, mate, but you kind of made it obvious that you had to reverse in. Back in again. So let's see how this one pans out, all right? We're not going to write out Camstone. Let's just see how this pans out, and we'll see how we get on. See where this all comes up, because he's going to be trying to be making a move as well. No, he's possibly going to have to pit again at the same time.
Here we go. Some more drivers.
Yeah, more people into the pits at the moment. That is your top four: Hoytsma, Giglio, Delaney, Pierce, Stout. So Hutchinson's not in. Sosa, Princeton still. Hinkenbottom's moved up, but that's obviously due to the pit running order where we're currently at as well. Camstone's moved up one place into 22. Oh, that was number 6 there. Jonathan Delaney having to back up just a tad. So there we go. There's going to be more in as well, I think. I don't think this is going to be the last of this rushes. And that now frees them, Michael, to do that free run up to the end. Do you see what I mean? And they've now got their fuel on board. They've got their tyres done. And they're now free just to go and bomb it right to the end now. And I think that's probably why we were looking at what we were looking at Root earlier on, and Murray not taking that option to get that pit stop under their belt, because there really wasn't any need to.
Yeah, no, I think you're correct at this point. They're able to just kind of make their way up to lap 160 here, and now they got enough fuel just to get themselves the rest of the way. And, you know, from here, we're just going to see how it all pans out once everybody makes their stops.
Well, Sorry, go on, carry on.
No, go ahead.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've got 25 to go. You know, I'm a little bit concerned that some of these guys, Hutchinson, Sosa, Princeton, Steele, and Russell, Steele, Princeton, Sosa, and Hutchinson haven't gone in yet. I feel they may have just made the wrong decision unless they're going to start dropping in. But then, you know, I feel they possibly could have just made this a little bit of a wrong choice here. I'm not quite sure this would have been the right call, especially as to where it's going to put them in conjunction when they do go in. They're not clocking up the laps. They're doing 50.5s, 49.56s. So, you know, good 7 tenths at the moment from Russell in 5th. But if they do go in, Russell's going to be the man that's going to be on the top of the board, I think. So, yeah, I don't think these guys have really made this right choice at the moment. 25 to go.
Yeah, and we saw Russell, it was Russell and O'Brien earlier that stayed out and it ended up backfiring on them.
Yeah.
I know it was Russell was one of the 2 cars, but yeah, they tried to stay out and it backfired on them. So these drivers really need to move in and come in and get these pit stops over as soon as they can, because at this point they're just hurting themselves. Unless they think somehow, some way they're going to be able to make it, but I don't think they're going to have fuel. So,
and they're also not gaining the time. I fully understand if they were sitting around the 34, 35, 36 second mark, right? Because you got the opportunity to coming in, you're going to come out roughly where you went in, but they're still only hitting 30 seconds, you know, and that time is coming down. It's not even going up, so it's not like they're making progress by staying out where they are. You know, that other person we were talking about as well with Russell was Anderson, Robert Anderson. He was the one with him that got stuck out. If this group of cars times was moving out, right, and they were going out from that 30 seconds from Russell, I'd understand, but I don't get it because they're not making that improvement. But the problem is, I suppose now, they've kind of committed to this. So unless all of these drivers from different teams are sitting in the same voice chat saying, guys, we've got to make a decision here. If we're going to go in, we've got to go in together. Not one of these drivers is going to make that solo move without guaranteeing that somebody's going to go in with him. Because as we've seen, you go solo, that's it, you're done.
Yeah, you have no opportunity, no chance. If you have nobody to draft with, you are just a sitting duck. No matter what you do, you're just a sitting duck. We've seen cars literally falling off the pace 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds in the span of just a couple small, short laps because they have nobody to draft with, and they're just sitting ducks. You go from running a 48 to a 53.
Yeah,
it's
and
ridiculous.
it showed earlier with Giglio, didn't it?
Mhm.
He basically had 23 seconds to the pack behind, dropped off out of the draft for whatever reason that we still don't know was actually whatever reason happened to him. And that 23 seconds went within about 4 or 5 laps, and he was back in with that pack again. Don't get me wrong, you know, he worked out and he was leading going into the pit lane now, but we're going to see it here. This pack is going to pick up that car in front because it's just solo. It's just driving around on a it's almost going like a Sunday drive with your mum down picnic doing shopping that she has to drag you down by your ear hole because you don't really want to go. Not that it's ever happened to me, but there we go. You know what I mean. But that's what they've got to do, haven't they? They're leaving this late, and I don't think this is going to be right. I'm just a little bit worried for these guys who have not pitted already. Hutchinson, Sosa, Prince and Steele, Stout. That's probably where it stops, I think. Maybe even Steele on that one.
Yeah, I mean, unless they seem to think that they're going to get another caution or they can... I mean, the only other thing I can think of is if they think they can make it, you know, and I don't think that's a possibility. So they might be holding out hope for a caution, but the longer they go, the worse and worse their situation gets.
Yeah, but this is what I don't get. I understand the caution situation. You know, don't get me wrong. You've made a decision like they've made, right? They're fully committed to this because they're not even looking at remotely going in. They're hoping for a caution that may not come. Can they make it to the end? I don't think they can, and their time is not going up either, so that's even worse a thing for them. But praying for something is like me sticking my hand in a jar full of white balls and hoping to pull out a black one. It's just not going to happen. And that's where they're at with the caution, is that they're hoping that they're going to magically get a caution from a green flag when everybody's kind of spread out. They're spread out. The next pack in front is spread out. There's another group that are spread out. There's not enough cars that you wouldn't think that would cause that caution for them to go about it. You know, these guys are split up into 2 lanes, which I think is even a worse run than what they had going on in the first place. But I just can't see where this is, if that's what they've committed to, where it's going to be coming from.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm starting to wonder if they really think they can make it. I find it hard to believe, but that's the only thing that makes sense at this point.
Rob Stone, could you repeat that? Repeat what? Sorry. Which bit am I repeating? Let me know. But, I don't know. I think they're on a losing battle unless they're going to make the end. But, you know, Stout is pulling that time down. He's now bringing it down to getting under the 25-second rule. So... I don't know if that's going to quite work out, but look
at the leader here. Look at the leader here behind 2 rows of drivers that are about to be a lap down.
Yeah, because Hutchinson's got this at the moment, isn't he? Sosa's in that pack, Prince is in the pack. Still in there as well. Yeah, Steele's in there as well. But there is back markers involved in that, isn't there? Back markers are in this pack somewhere.
Robertson was saying about the mom taking your shopping, pulling your ear.
Well, you know, when you ever have that thing where your mum says you want to go shopping and you don't want to go, well, you know, that's where the ear pulling comes in, because she's forcing you to go into the shop with her while she's got hold of your ear roll, because you really don't want to go as a kid. Because I hated shopping, it drove me crazy. Walking around the supermarket with my parents, there was nothing worse ever in the whole entire world when I could sit there thinking what other things I could be up to as a young child, going being dragged around a Walmart or an Asda or Morrison's or Tesco's, or I'm sure there was other supermarkets available in the US, but you know what I mean. But yeah, no, that was definitely not my favourite time of shopping. I don't know about anybody else. Michael, did you ever go shopping with your parents?
Yeah, I hated it.
Exactly. See, nothing worse ever. See our view? There you go. See my view? There we go. See our view? There you go. That was it. Nothing worse than being dragged shopping with your parents. Especially as well, I had the worst mum for this, right? I don't know if anybody else's mums did it. I never saw anybody else's mum do it. My mum would go into the washing powder section or the washing liquid bit that she sticks in with the clothes, and she used to open the lid up and sniff them, and then go, "Oh no, don't like that." Close the lid back up and stick it back on the shelf. Like, did anybody else's mum ever do that? What is it with sniffing washing liquid?
No,
Oh,
my mom didn't do that. My mom's got quirks, but she didn't go around sniffing Tide Pods.
Yeah, man, she literally just used to take the lid off and, no, don't like that, put the lid back on and away we go. But anyway, completely diverted from any form of racing, what is going on. Because at the moment, not a lot is going on. We're still 16 to go. We've still got Hutchinson, Sosa, Princeton and Steele. That's where we're at with them 4 cars currently in this pack here, in this train. And we've also got back markers involved in this as well. Now, obviously, in an ideal kind of world, I'd love to be able to tell you who was in this mix, but the cars are going so quick that I can't quite read the numbers as they're going through. But there's the 4 leaders in there, and there's back markers. So technically they're trying to work together, but the time has dropped from 28 to 21 with 16 to go. I don't know if they could do this.
Yeah, Stout and Delaney are really gaining ground here. We know that they've pitted, but I mean, at the end of the day, right now, we just don't know how much fuel these top 4 cars have on board. We don't know if they're going to be able to make it or not. I mean, they have to be hoping for a caution, because unless they know for a fact they're going to make it, they're going to be pushing themselves across the line. You know, Fred Flintstone style.
Yeah, but can they? The problem is they're not even going to be able to go in and splash and dash. They're not going to have the time. The gap is coming down. Every lap that ticks down, that gap's coming down. Yeah, yes, no, it's not going to come down enough because they're doing 51s.
Yeah, if they go into the pits now, they're going to be back past behind Murray, so they'll be Roethlisberger, Hodgson. They'll be in the top, a lot of the top 20. They have to be hoping that they either get a caution or they can make it. I just don't. I think they kind of their strategy, unless they can make it, I think their strategy is flawed.
No, I think. See, my only fear is now they're going, then they're presuming they can make. That's the only thing that could be going in that car from Hutchinson, Sosa, Princeton and Steele. They're getting help, don't get me wrong. 1 lap, they're losing 2 seconds, right? So do the math. They're down to 18. 1 lap, they're losing 2. Within 9, they're going to be under. There you go. Why? I don't get it. Matt Long, okay, so Matt Long was down at laps anyway. I understand that, but he's going to come out even further down. It's whether or not they're going to make that choice. And
I mean, this would be huge for Hutchinson, getting that win. You know, really
you got some
moving up
cars.
into 8th.
Yeah, look, there's more going in. Dicciani, Matt Long, Bryson Hicksborough, Preston McRae, Travis Scumeda, Damara Sinkerbottom. They were all out of sync. These have all been out of sync pit stops. And they're not. I think the thing is, you can't really say for these guys that, because Bryson's been involved in an incident. Preston McRae, Matt Long. Now everybody else is storming in as well. Hutchinson, Sosa, Princeton and Steele. With Patrick Mouch and Jason Baker, I think they've not done themselves any favours.
Hutchinson's out by himself right now.
Hutchinson's in the pits. He's gone in.
I'm showing him. Okay.
No, Robert Stoneman not getting a caution. They've just got in. They were just a little bit out of sync with everybody else. They should have gone in around the 160 mark. That would have given them a better benefit than where they are now. don't get me wrong, the 4 cars, Hutchinson, Sosa, Steele and Brinson are coming out exactly the same time and coming out together. But instead of being now within that pack, they're now down in 14, 15, 16, 17 when they've come in from 1, 2, 3, 4. So if they were looking to aim to try and take the lead and try and get up there, they should have looked at coming in a little bit earlier. I'm not doubting Cam, but he is down in 20th at the moment, Robert. So I think Cam Stone's possibly out of it. I'm sorry to say, sir. I know you're probably at home banging your table telling me I'm not correct, but I've got a funny feeling him being down in 20th is a little bit hard there. There's no parents in the world that could grab Cam Stone's ears from 20th and pull him into first, being this lap downs with 11 to go. But however, a name that we haven't mentioned and we haven't noticed is the person in first place, Taylor Stout. Not seen them all race.
Yeah, no,
we're not spoken about them.
He's been in the midfield, back of the pack. Haven't even brought him up. And look at him right now. He was making that. He had that charge going. He was leading the pack, getting back into. They were 29 seconds down. Then they were 20 seconds back, and he was leading that pack. He was leading the charge there. He's definitely got the speed.
Joe Stafford in the pits as well. Cam Stone now in the pits as well. So Cam's going to drop down further down the order. Stafford and Stone. Just seems a bit of a well out of sync here. He needs to get onto a pack, and he's not going to get anywhere near there. So yeah, sorry, could be Cam Stone, could be done and dusted, but Taylor Stout, however, is not. But Delaney's there, Russell's there, Giglio's there, Hoytsma's there as well. Raymond Root is in 9th, not on to the back of the pack. No. So Root has lost time. However, he is gaining on the pack because he's there with Matt White and Alex Murray. And those guys are bringing the times down. So it is dropping down below about 6 seconds at the moment. So this gap is coming for them, but I think they're a little bit far away as well. I think if we're going to be looking at our leader, it's going to be coming from Stout, Delaney, Russell, Giglio, Hoytsma, Mobley, Sean O'Brien, and Brandon Pierce there, Michael. I think what we're looking at now is where the leader's going to come from.
Yeah, your boy Russell, the rookie here, he's up in the 3rd place. This has been a great race for his first time out. Getting pole. He's up in a podium spot right now. A really impressive drive from Alexander Russell. I'm really impressed by him.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's been a great benefit to this series, to be honest. Just by judging by his first race, he's gone around his business. He's been professional with his business. He's not gone and done anything stupid. He hasn't got hot-headed and started coming in and driving around all over the place, doing silly things. And I think that's a credit to him as a driver, I think. Because some people can get nervous on your first race going into any league racing, and he's managed to do that and keep it nice and tidy. Rob Stone, someone better start making a move. If you ain't first, you're last. True, but we have got 8 to go. And I think Russell, I can't see Russell getting this. There's only one man that I can see looking at this front 3 who's going to take this victory. And he's got a nice big yellow number 6 on the side of his wheels. And that's not taking anything away from Taylor Stout. But when you've got Jonathan Delaney 7k behind you, it's a big ask to try and do anything about him, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's quietly had a great race. Just consistent, always near the front of the pack at the end of the race. It's no wonder he's got 8 wins and he's leading the championship.
Giglio's made the move. Giglio and Hoytsma have made the move. Where is Russell going to go? Look at that push from Giglio and Hoytsma there. Oh,
Wow.
Ooh, Giglio.
Oh, nice save by Stout.
Oh, Giglio there chopped the nose off Taylor Stout faster than a plastic surgeon doing a job on one of the Kardashians. I'll tell you that much. Unbelievable there. Giglio made that move and literally, boom, Taylor Stout's nose and the chance of the win gone. And that was so aggressive by Giglio there that he got the push from Hoytsma and then boom, he went straight across the front of Stout. Nose gone, see you later, replacements, book your surgery down the road, I'll tell you that much, because you're going to need a new one. Unbelievable by Giglio there. That was just dangerous, bold, brave. Some may call it stupid, but Giglio made it work.
Yeah, no, that was a brave move, to say the least. Coming down with 6 laps to go. I mean, somebody had to make a move, just like Robert Stone said here in the chat. Somebody has to make a move. Yeah, I mean that was a little. It was a great save by Stout. I feel bad for Stout because they had a great final run going there, and you got to feel bad for Stout there. But great save nonetheless, and bold move right there by Giglio.
Yeah, he definitely made his presence felt. But now we've got 5 to go, and there's going to be even more moves here. I don't think Delaney is quite going to be done with this. I'm hoping Russell's not finished either. Sean O'Brien, 3 playoff contenders at the front with 5 to go. And this is where it hots up, you see. This is where we're talking about. This is where everybody starts waking up after your roast dinner from the Formula One, and you're realizing that you've been asleep for half of it, but you're going to watch the 5 laps because you want to get it so excited and see who's going to win. And this is what you're going to be looking at. So if you are asleep on the sofa, if you're watching it with somebody asleep on the sofa, give them a kick and tell them they've got 5 laps to go. Come on, wake up, start watching this, because trust me, this ending, if that's anything to go by Giglio's move there, this ending's going to be stunning. And I'm hoping it is, because otherwise I've really just put in a big dose of anticlimactical action here into a race that might not happen. But I don't think I'm going to be disappointed.
Wake up, Subs back at Red Bull.
Yeah. There we go. Right. Here we go. How is this going to work? 4 to go. Brandon Pierce is back up, and that's good to see. Car number 38, because he was involved in an incident earlier on. So Brandon Pierce is back up into 4th place as well. So a massive shout from him. Hoytsma, Root, Murray, a little bit out of it at the moment. I've got a funny feeling that's going to be done and dusted for them. But it's going to be from these front 4. Oh, Delaney getting a little bit squirrely. Here for Nolan, car number 42. Where is Nolan? There.
16th.
Down the order. He's down in 16th currently at the moment. Nolan Hodgson there. Right. 3 to go. 3 to go. Wakey, wakey. This is where they've got to concentrate now, because they've got to be looking at trying to make that move. Hoytsma's looking at going out. Russell's puts his car out there. Russell's on the outside line. There we go. Push from Hoytsma. Is Russell going to take this on his debut? I wouldn't cut back in. I would just let Hoytsma use and push me along.
They got a heck of a run
look
up there.
at this!
There.
They're 2 car academy.
No. Oh no, don't go back down. No. That's it. Do that. Oh. Russell's now, he's gone from the lead and down into, where is he? 4th place. He made that. You should have stayed there. Should have stayed there. Hoytsma had him there. Hoytsma was just pushing him along. Oh, there was contact further back with Russell. And that was Dalton Mobley as well. But here we go. 1 to go. 1 to go. And we've got Hoytsma, Giglio, O'Brien, Delaney, and Pierce and Russell. And that is McRae there as well, just being lapped. It's going to be between Delaney and Giglio, isn't it?
I mean, I think you mean Hoytsma.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hoytsma and Giglio, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, hold on, they're coming. Whoa, they're coming.
They're coming,
Oh,
look.
that is a run.
Oh,
That is a run.
It's a 2-car tandem.
we're on the final lap. The final lap, here we go.
Getting loose there, Hoytsma in
Oh,
front.
it's going to be, oh, I think I've just had a baby.
This
Hold
is
on.
insane.
Here we go, on the run down the line. It's going to be Hoytsma, O'Brien, Delaney, Giglio. Who's going to get this? Is it going to be... Oh, Hoytsma got him. Hoytsma got him, but he was spun
Who
at the end by O'Brien.
Did I say I picked?
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
Carlos is the winner.
Oh, blimey.
That was an insane ending.
Yeah, we're never going to hear the end of it now, are we? From Carlos, he's going to be like, got it. Look, he's even going to show the replay just to make sure we see it again. Oh, I
65
tell you what,
tried
O'Brien,
everything he could.
yeah, O'Brien literally was trying to throw the sink at him, and he just couldn't get him, and then he spins him at the end. Look, whether that was on purpose or what, he knew he was
Right,
kind
good
of
night,
good,
Robert.
but there we go. So there we go. Great show. Good night, fellas. Good night,
Good
mate.
night,
Cheers
Robert.
for that. Take care. They're fixing to crash, says Roy and Becky's Travels. Come on, baby, should Sean Tinnerman. But yeah, that was everything and anything thrown at them then. And oh, man, that was just absolutely incredible. I do love the endings. You know what I mean? I do love because they get so, like, spicy, don't they? And everything kind of goes off at the end. So, yeah, there we go. That was unbelievable ending. Great race. Absolutely. I fully agree with you. And that was won by Lucas Hoitzma with Sean O'Brien Jr. and Jonathan Delaney in third. Brendan Pierce got fourth. Blake Giglio ended up fifth. Debut man Alexander Russell was in sixth place there as well. So Alexander Russell, great debut outing. I think, Michael, ready to say there, don't you think?
Yeah, no, that was a great debut. I mean, you start on pole, you finish up on the top. Like, yeah, he didn't get the win, but everything, like, what else could you want?
He's locked in
exactly.
for the next round, too.
Yeah, locked in for the next round as well. Top six finish. So well done, as we can see Lucas Hoitzma coming round the order. We'll bring you up the final results very, very shortly. There we go. So we've got Lucas Hoitzma took the victory in the end over by Sean O'Brien Jr. Jonathan Delaney got third. Brandon Pierce got fourth. Blake Giglio got fifth. Alexander Russell in sixth place. Great outing from the man who made his debut today. Got pole and finished on the top 10. Stunning drive from him. Dalton Mobley in seventh. Raymond Root unlucky. Roy and Becky. Raymond Root got eighth in the end there. Alex Murray in at ninth. Matt White 10th. Taylor Stout in 11th. Ralph Hutchinson in 12th, Nolan Hodgson in 13th, Kevin Steele 14th, Alex Princeton, Jeffrey Sosa. That was the block that stayed out. Ralph Hutchinson, Hodgson, Steele, Princeton and Sosa stayed out. Lost out 14th, 15th, 16th there. Tanner Marty down in 17th. Zach Roethlisberger in 18th place. 19th was Joe Stafford, 20th Damaris Higginbottom, Patrick Motion 21st, Travis Scrameda in 22nd. Cam Stone finished 23rd, Robert, there, down to Cam Stone in 23rd. Rory John Hiller in 24th, Matt DiCiani 25th, Jason Baker in 26th, Matt Long 27th, Bryson Hicksonborough down in 28th place. So there we go. Don't feel we need to go any further than that because I think a lot of people were out after that. But what an absolute incredible ending. So we got Preston McGray, Dustin Hall, Christopher Hamann, Robert Anderson, Jason Taylor, Derek Heitman, Mike Christopher, Kyle Ammon, Josh Ward and Adam Benefield, 71 laps down of a 189 lap race. Ryan Samuelson and Chad Sanna went out on 136 laps down. So he went out on 50. So there we go. Right, Michael, I am going to love you and leave you to it to finish this off for me. It's been a pleasure, as always, broadcasting with you. I am going to go and get myself into bed. So, chat, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and turn on the bells for notifications because you're not going to want to miss the next one. Carlos, always a pleasure as always, young man, and I shall see you next week.
Well, everybody,
Yeah, next week, last week for 3i TV.
Yeah, so, yeah, you will be here next week. That is correct. So, oh, sorry, I'm trying to get all of this situated here. I finally have my internet back up, so perfect timing, right?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and bring some people in here. Delaney was third place, was that correct? Or was it O'Brien?
Sorry, I muted my mic. No, it was Delaney. O'Brien was second.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and bring John Delaney in here. John Delaney, third place. You are currently leading the championship, though. So how do you feel about this week?
Oh man, I just went into this looking to have some fun. Because this car isn't always fun.
Yeah, no. This week was definitely challenging. There was a lot going on. We had quite a few green flag laps, and then all of a sudden it just seemed like one caution after another.
Oh yeah, the good old phrase, cautions breed cautions, kind of was in effect tonight. But yeah, man, I had the win last week, so I'm locked into the next round. So I really just came into here looking to have some fun and see if I can get some, some of my other teammates into the second round, get them a win.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, third place, that sounds like a fun night for you.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of pitch strategy going on all night. So
Yeah, that was really interesting towards the end. We saw a couple cars staying out there. Tell us kind of what your goal was there towards the end, how the fuel strategy was really working out towards the end of the race.
yeah, so we had those couple cautions there, and I mean, when things like that happen, you just have to come down and pit because um, the situation we were in where we had to do another green flag pit stop if it goes green, any second or any like gallon of fuel you don't have to take out a pit stop is going to be so much better for you when you do those green flag pit stops. So when Alex and I think RJ Root came down pit road, they had to take a few more gallons than me, Blake, and Lucas and all the other guys because they didn't pit under caution. So that was, I think, like if they would have pitted under caution, they probably would have won that race or would have had a good chance of winning. I don't know why they didn't pit.
Well, it's definitely close there at the end. That last lap was definitely quite a cluster at the front there. But Mr. Delaney, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Did you have anybody you want to shout out this evening?
Yep, you guys in the booth for broadcasting. Oh, always a great time. Go back
Thanks.
watching. So thank you guys. Thanks to everyone at home watching. Kevin Steele for the paint scheme, Stint Analyzer, Lockdown Racing, all of our sponsors, everyone over there. And yeah, everyone who raced tonight had a good time.
Well, thanks for joining us. Number 3 overall tonight, John Delaney. Right, now it looks like O'Brien left. Let's see. I think that's Sean O'Brien, right? Yeah. 1 second, everybody. Go ahead and get Sean O'Brien in here. Mr. O'Brien.
What's up?
Hey, just wanted to have a quick chat with you here. Second place. That was a very strong effort from you tonight. Tell us how that last lap went for you.
Well, I'll tell you what, G. There's that whole shenanigans of like 3 to go in turn 3, big, that wreck that didn't happen. So that got me right behind John, which is where I wanted to be. And then John ended up behind me, which is where I wanted. Black Flag has an alliance of John. I mean, he's the best. I mean, he's got like eight wins. I mean, who else would you want to be pushing you at the end of the race? And even if that still can't get done, because no dog in me. Molten too big. But you know what? Finally got an interview on the broadcast. Finally got top 3. That's all. This is like a win. This is like a win.
I saw you in the waiting room, and then all of a sudden you were gone. I had to go searching for you.
Yeah, Discord broke. I have like the 1995 Honda Accord version of a PC. But yeah, just finally getting interviewed after a race for a good reason, not because I wrecked out because I suck. But
yeah. Glad to have you here, man. Second place. That was a strong race from you. I know, obviously, you wanted to win, but still, that was a strong finish. How was your pit strategy there towards the end? How are you with the fuel strategy there?
Well, honestly, I thought I screwed myself over because I didn't pit on what ended up being the last yellow. So I thought I'd be hung out to dry. Like John and all those guys who pitted on 137 would go longer. So I ended up pitting with like RJ and Alex and all of them who pitted earlier. But John came the next lap. Then I got hooked up with him. And yeah, ended up working out. I am horrible at entering pit road. I almost killed Jason during the first stage.
I know the feeling.
So that entire last stage entering that green flag pit stop, I was sweating bullets because I just knew I was going to overshoot pit road, kill someone, overshoot my stall, freaking cross over the line too soon, just something. But it didn't happen. Got second, good point stay. Missed last week, but going in Roval, good spot. Look to continue it.
Well, Sean, did you want to shout out to anybody here tonight? Now that you got a chance to shout out, you here for the interview. Who do you want to shout out?
It's about damn time. Everyone Black Flag. Jason S. Taylor. I mean, he was like Chad Knaus up there, just telling us all what to do. Bobby Anderson too, Randy too, Matt White helped us, obviously John, but it all comes down to Jason. He was the one calling the shots tonight, telling me where to go. He is, dragging my hand, holding my hand through there like a child at Disney World to the front multiple times. But yeah, could not do this without him.
Well, Sean, it's been great talking to you. Glad to have you here in the booth for a good reason. Second place, great race, great finish. Thanks for joining us, Sean.
Thank you.
Sean O'Brien, everybody. All right, let's go ahead and bring in Lucas Hoytsmark, race winner. Lucas, race win. That was an exciting finish there. Walk us through that last lap.
Honestly, man, I can't remember it that much. Kind of a blur.
Yeah, no, that was definitely interesting there. We saw quite a few different fuel strategies going on too. Did you have anything special that you had in mind? Did you for your fuel strategy towards the end? What were you thinking there?
The whole goal on that last stint was just try to stay as far up in the field as I could and take as little fuel on the stop as I could. And I got both those things done. Just kind of made contact with the 33 on exit and almost ruined our race. But luckily, I was able to keep with the draft and keep with that pack. And thanks to my teammates and people working with me, I was able to work my way up toward the front. But it was a fight the whole race. I had nothing left out there.
Yeah, well, you definitely had just enough to get across that checkered flag in first place. That was definitely tight there. It looks like you got spun there going across the finish line, but you got it done. Coming into the Roval next week, so you should be nice and secure in the championship, be able to move into the final 8 there. So you shouldn't have to worry too much, stress too much about next week. What's your mindset gonna be?
The whole mindset right now is I don't even care about these playoffs. I just got my first win, but other than that, I feel pretty good at the road course. So I'm going to try my best and don't have to worry about points.
You're right. This is your first win. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
39 races in the making.
Gotta start somewhere, bud. Well, did you want to shout anybody out tonight?
Just first and foremost, my teammates, LMM, got me this rocket ship of a car. And working together all night, we were able to get it done. And other than that, Labor 12 on the car, Randy, good to get them some TV time tonight. CTC Racing, Low Drag Esports, all the guys. I mean, everybody who puts this league on, this is just a ton of fun every week. And last but not least, you guys for doing this broadcast.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Lucas. Congratulations on the win. Good luck next week, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you back into the booth next week.
Thanks, man. See you guys.
Yeah, have a good night, bud.
You too.
Everybody, that was Lucas Hoytsma. And I want to go ahead and thank Carlos here. Carlos with 3Y TV. Going to be his last week with us next week. But Carlos, it's been great working with you. Excited to work with you every week. And, it's been great working with you, man. Really appreciate all the cool stuff that you do, man. I love your broadcast. I really do.
Thank you. It's been fun doing them.
Well, not really too much left to say here. It is getting a little late. I want to thank everybody out there in the chat for joining us. Say goodnight to everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that button to the bell to get the notifications there. I want to, from me, Michael David, for James Parfit Broadcasting, 3 Racing Television. For Carlos, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Thank all the drivers. Thank the guys for putting on this awesome league. It's one of the best, organized leagues I've ever seen as far as sim racing goes. And it's my pleasure to be a part of it. I really appreciate you guys bringing us on. And I want to thank everybody for watching tonight, and I hope everybody has a great night.